The comebacks keep coming. Bob Melvin and the boys' never say die attitude is building quite the team chemistry this season. Down 3 runs in the 8th yesterday, the A's rallied, tying the game, which then led to a Jed Lowry go-ahead 9th inning home run, and the Athletics took game 1 of this 4-game series in Detroit. Tonight, it's Frankie Montas' turn in the rotation, and he will look to build off his solid start last time out in San Diego. A's and Tigers, game 2, next.
We're at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit, home of the Tigers. The A's with a big come-from-behind win yesterday. That certainly made their fans happy. How could they not? And Frankie Montas tonight gets the ball here against these Tigers. A's and Tigers coming up at NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. With all the injuries to the A's rotation, man, Ray, there's been a bunch. How important has Frankie Montas been? He's made 5 starts, 4 have been really good. Yeah. And, man, where would they be without this guy?
You know, I think last year when he's coming off surgery, they really monitored his innings, about 60 innings. But this year, back in the rotation, the great thing about Frankie, he's a strikeout pitcher, which he can do that. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's a fly ball pitcher. But the thing also, he can pitch with the lead. He can pitch in a close ball game. So I think for him to have the complete package, to be able to show what he can do, he gets excited. He loves to pitch. He's got a little shimmy shake on the mound when he pitches. Sometimes he quick pitches, but he's been very good. And to your point, he's done exactly what the A's had hoped he would do.
Franklin Barreto is in the A's lineup tonight for the 7th consecutive game. And, Ray, maybe that's all he needs. Just let him play for a while because he's been looking pretty good. He still chases a little bit, but, man, he's had some big hits.
He had some big ones in Chicago, 2 3-run home runs in one game. And then, of course, he ended up having a big game yesterday. But one thing that he has done, played second base solidly, but what he did yesterday I thought was probably the most important. These home runs are great, but he did this. He tied the ball game. Yesterday in the 8th inning before, it was Jed Lowry hitting the home run. But when he came through that big hit, playing solid defense, he's getting a chance to play, and he's showing he can.
All right, the A's are hot. They've won 7 out of 9. The Tigers are not hot. They have lost 6 in a row. We'll see what happens tonight here at Comerica Park. Up next, we will check in with the guys in the A's pregame live studios and then come back to Detroit for lineups and first pitch, A's and the Tigers.
See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the $5.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box.
Hey, that's Edwin Jackson. He pitched pretty good yesterday for the Athletics, so what does he do today? Maybe a good luck charm, huh, Ray? Take out the lineup card.
Yeah, and you know, I can't wait till he gets the jersey that has every logo from every team he's played for. That's going to be a loaded jersey. 13 of them.
It would be 13, yes. Game Time Weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Nice night, 76 degrees. We're a little concerned about rain coming in later tonight.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, well, you know what? We'll worry about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Starting lineup for the Oakland A's is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And here it is. Marcus Semien will lead off. Then it's Pinder in left. Lowry at third. Lowry the hero yesterday. Davis will DH. Olsen, Piscotty, Canna. Lucroy, Beretta. That rounds out the lineup for the A's. So that lineup will face the left-hander Blaine Hardy, who is ready to go. And he kicks and deals the first pitch of the game. And it's in for a strike to Marcus Semien.
Don't look for too much. That's the key tonight facing this left-hander.
Semien at 245, 7 homers, 30 RBIs. Marcus was 0 for 3 at a big sacrifice fly yesterday. Up and away, and the count 2-1. Pinder to follow, and then Lowry here in the first inning from downtown Detroit, Comerica Park. 2-2. Umpires tonight, that's the crew chief Ted Barrett calling balls and strikes. Lance Barksdale's at first. Ryan Atherton is at second. Will Little is at third. Pop-up, shallow right. That's Dixon Machado, the second baseman, who's back there, and he makes the catch.
Well, for Blaine Hardy starting and asking about why a reliever faced the Athletics 10 times out of the bullpen is starting, well, they need a starter. So he is making his 8th start of the season. He is not overpowering, as you could just see, but has a record of 3-1. Not surprising that he took the mound pitching out of the stretch from the beginning and also working quickly and probably starting before game time was supposed to be announced.
So here's Pinder. Pinder takes a first pitch strike.
He will throw all 4 pitches, but his fastball won't even hit 90. And that's why hitters have to really be patient, wait, go opposite field.
Well, it's kind of an interesting story, Ray, with Hardy. We've seen Hardy out of the bullpen for the last 4 years, and he's been a pretty good left-handed reliever, but he was designated for assignment in spring training. And then he actually re-signed with the Tigers. And he went down to the minor leagues and just started pitching multiple innings, and as the Tigers have gone this year, they needed a starter, and they were like, well, keep starting. And he's actually pitched pretty well as a starter. From Lewis and Clark State College, drafted originally by the Kansas City Royals back in 2008, signed as a minor league free agent in 2013. So Blaine Hardy. Behind Hardy, the Tigers defense looks like this. Victor Reyes, Leonis Martin, Nicholas Castellanos is your outfielders. Jammer Candelario, Nico Goodrum, Dixon Machado, John Hicks. On the infield with James McCann doing the catching. Castellanos into foul territory, and he almost overran it, reaches back and makes the catch.
Well, not surprising that 2 right-handed hitters have hit just relatively easy fly balls. This is a nice play, but Pinder, who overran a ball in Chicago, probably looking down and saying, can't you do the same for me? Castellanos, though, was able to reach back and make the play, as he has just learned to play the outfield after being a pretty good third baseman for the Tigers. But the way he's swinging the bat, they'll find a place for him.
So 2 away, and here's Lowry. It's strange, Ray, when you read the Tigers defense, and there's just not a lot of names that you're used to hearing. Used to saying Cabrera and Kinsler and Upton and Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Victor Martinez.
Yeah, it's It's a little bit different. They do have a very good manager, Ron Gardenhire, first-year manager, being hired by the Tigers after being out of baseball about 3 years. Long time with the Minnesota Twins following Tom Kelly.
Diving attempt by Goodrum, the shortstop. He can't get it, and Lowry has a base hit. So with Lowry in mind, let's check out our Coors Light free refreshing finish. Yesterday, he was indeed the hero. Off-speed pitch, 9th inning, solo shot off Shane Green, and the A's completed the comeback. That put them ahead 5-4. Trinan held on in the bottom of the 9th. Pretty good ball game yesterday for the Athletics.
Well, the skipper made a good point. He said that probably one of the better things that happened, it was Lou Trevino gave up the 3-run home run to Castellanos, but after the A's had tied it, he was able to go back out and pitch well enough for the A's to pick up the win. He had a 1-2-3 8th inning following the home run. Of course, he retired 4 in a row after giving up the home run, but he went back out, pitched well, and then Trinan came in to finish it.
0-1 to Chris Davis. Davis hitting .228 with 20 homers, 52 RBIs. Well, it's been a good road trip for the A's. Obviously, they're 5-2, but think about some of the wins on this trip. We talked about it in the pregame show. The unbelievable win in San Diego on Tuesday night. Down 5-0 in Chicago, and then last night or yesterday afternoon, you come back and win late. So you got 3 great come from behind wins and a couple of blowouts in your 5 wins on this trip so far, with 3 more games to play, including tonight.
And really, to get greedy, thinking about splitting the series in Chicago, probably could have won the other 2 games also and really have an unbelievable road trip, but they'll take where they are right now and try to complete this series against the Tigers and really be happy after Thursday's game. But yesterday, you're down 4-1 in the 8th inning, and I think that you said it's very hard to come back and beat a club when you're trailing with only a couple of at-bats left. The A's were able to do that, and that really says a lot about the offense of this A's club.
Chris Davis takes a strike. So 3-2 the count. So Lowry will take off with 2 outs. John Hicks, the first baseman, playing behind him, and that ball's hit in the air, left center, but it's going to hang up. It's Victor Reyes, the left fielder, makes the catch. Side retired. A's get a hit. They leave a runner. Tigers come to bat when we come back. Okay, who's you've probably heard us talk about the Mauler. He's in a good spot. He's at an A's game. Lineup for the Tigers, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It looks like this: Martin, Candelario, Castellanos, Martinez, Goodrum, Hicks, McCann, Reyes, Machado. There's your Tigers lineup.
And Frankie Montas will be on the mound for the Athletics as he will be making his sixth start. As we detailed, he is 4-1 of the season. The lone loss came against the Houston Astros, but it's not like he has not faced the Tigers. He did as a member of the White Sox. Couple of starts, so he is on track tonight. Of course, as you mentioned, Kai, a few different players that he may have faced him when he's with the White Sox.
So.
And with Miguel Cabrera out with the surgery, just had that a couple of days ago.
So the first pitch here in the bottom of the first is a little bit low to Leonis Martin, the veteran center fielder. We've seen him with a couple of division opponents, of course, with the Rangers and also with the Mariners, and having a good year for the Tigers. Leonis Martin.
He wasn't a U.S. citizen when he's with those clubs. Now he is.
That was pretty cool yesterday.
Very nice yesterday. Yeah, exactly.
Jose Iglesias and Leonis Martin, the shortstop for the Tigers, and Martin were sworn in as U.S. citizens during a pregame ceremony yesterday. And Ray, I was not here. You were. That's pretty cool.
Well, seeing the American flags being flown by those kids, and it's very nice.
Defensively for the A's, Pinder, Cannon, Piscotty in the outfield. Lowry, Simeon, Barreto, and Olsen on the infield, with Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher.
There were others, but of course highlighted by the two current Tiger members. And I know Santiago Casilla became a U.S. citizen, as we mentioned a couple of homestands ago. And so Ozzie Guillen, when he's managing the White Sox. So it's always nice for those gentlemen becoming U.S. citizens.
So here's Jamer Candelario. Yeah, both Iglesias and Martin born in Cuba. So a very special moment for them. And they did. They waved the American flag. It was pretty cool.
Very nice.
And a nice thing to do by the Tigers.
Absolutely.
Which they've done it before.
Yeah.
So 2-0 the count to Jamer Candelario, who's a switch hitter. He was not in the starting lineup yesterday. He pinch hit. So 3-0 the count. On deck is Nicholas Castellanos. He's the most dangerous Tiger hitter.
I think every A's pitcher, especially someone like Frankie Montas, could have watched what Edwin Jackson did yesterday, making his first start as a member of the Athletics. Pitched extremely well for 6 innings. Good fastball, good slider, and just challenged the hitters. He had Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate, as he is tonight. That's a rare throw over on 3-0, but there are times when a runner does go 3-0, figuring that the pitcher's not going to pay that much attention to him. Frankie did throw over, coming from the bench, of course.
And it's low. So a 4-pitch walk and an earlier rally for the Tigers. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So a single and a walk, 2 on, nobody out for Castellanos, who's having a very fine season. A's found that out yesterday. 304 with 10 home runs and 44 runs batted in. Had the big 3-run homer yesterday. Also had a double. So he was 2 for 5, scored a couple of runs. And he lines one to left, down the line, and that's a hit. Tigers are going to take an early lead, as coming in to score is Martin, Candelario to third, and Castellanos into second with an RBI double. And I believe the Tigers have a hot hitter, Ray.
Yes, they do, and not surprising after the 4-pitch walk that he takes the first pitch. Not surprising that he's saying, you're going to throw me a strike and I'm going to hit it 95 inside part of the plate. And when you're hot, everything works well for you, and that ball just kept hooking away from Chad Pinder. enough that he was able to get to second base and on to third base with Candelario. Second and third, nobody out. Infield's got to play back. One of the most professional hitters in baseball is at the plate now, and Victor Martinez.
Martinez, of course, the veteran switch hitter. Steps in hitting .248 with 4 home runs, 26 RBIs.
You know, they're playing him to pull, but yesterday they did this and he shot the ball up the middle to left field. He's just that kind of a hitter. And thinking yesterday when Castellanos hit the home run, there was talk about, well, potentially walking him to pitch to Victor Martinez, but always reminded what Miguel Cabrera said, that with Victor Martinez hitting behind him, it made other teams consider whether they wanted to intentionally walk Miguel Cabrera to have to face Victor. He thought he was the best hitter hitting behind him if anybody had ever had. And maybe Castellanos hitting in front of him is kind of the same way now.
Martinez in his 15th year in the big leagues, his 7th year here in Detroit. And he lines that one towards Simeon, kind of a soft line drive, and Mark is playing right behind second base. He grabs it. So a big out there, 1 away.
Well, that was a big out, and unfortunately the A's have experienced some of these opportunities. Yesterday the Tigers 3 times had second and third and just 1 out, could not score. As Edwin Jackson did a good job in those instances.
So here's Nico Goodrum. Goodrum playing shortstop tonight. First pitch is way outside. Goodrum played third base in yesterday's game, and that's his deal. He can bounce around the diamond, play a bunch of different positions. Nico Goodrum. 234 is his average. 7 homers, 23 RBIs. Candelario at third. Castellanos is at second. Maybe Frankie Montas a little out of whack right now.
Yeah.
He's missing some with his pitches, and he's missing by quite a bit. On deck is the right-handed hitting John Hicks. That one is lined right field, headed for the corner, fair ball. Hits at the base of the wall. It's going to knock home a pair. Goodrum's going to ease into second with a 2-run double, and the Tigers have a 3-0 lead here in the first.
Yeah, Scott Emerson's going to visit with him, but bottom line, he has to get ahead of hitters. He is not doing that tonight. And when you don't get ahead, the only first pitch strike he's thrown was Castellanos, and that was a double. This was a 2-0 fastball. See, it doesn't really matter how hard you throw. If location and you're pitching behind, and Goodrum gets a fastball 96 down the middle, a little bit above the belt, and a 2-run double is the result of the right field and 2 runs batted in.
Pitchcast is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. So here is John Hicks. Hicks, the first baseman, 280 is his average, 6 homers, 24 RBIs. Hicks going to get a chance to play, obviously, with Cabrera out for the season. As Ray mentioned, injury, ruptured left tricep tendon. That sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, and it requires surgery.
Yeah.
It's not just a muscle dropping, it's a tendon, and that's bad. You see the pain on his face when he experienced it, and Victor Martinez saying yesterday that he may not be around, he might be, had surgery, and he definitely is out for the season.
And Miguel Cabrera, 465 career home runs, and he will not hit any more this year. But since he's got 5 years left on his contract, Ray, I think he will hit more here.
Yeah, he'll make some good money too.
5 more years left on Cabrera's contract.
Yeah.
So 1-1 the count to John Hicks.
Swing and a miss. So it's gone single, walk, double, line out, double. Montas ahead in the count. In the dirt.
That's Jonathan Lucroy about how so many, once they hit the dirt, they're just thrown out. And he said, if I don't do it, the umpire does. He said they will never allow a ball to hit the dirt and be kept in play. You try it. If you know how to do anything with the scuff ball, you might want to try to keep it, but usually the hitter or the umpire will say no.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch there by Montas. He gets his first strikeout. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Well, that's a good out, a big out for Frankie Montas, and maybe this is beginning, just starting to get that at 97, see the sinking action, and he had the count at 2-2, made a very good pitch, gets a strikeout.
So 2 away, here's the catcher, James McCann. McCann, maybe one of the few names you do recognize. He's been here in Detroit as one of their catchers for, this is his 5th year with the Tigers. 237. He's got 4 homers, 21 RBIs. Originally a Tiger draft pick, high pick, 2nd round in 2011.
I think he's the one that carries around the rally goose.
Is he?
Yeah, I've seen him.
Right. They got the rally.
I've seen him holding the goose at times.
And there's a base hit left field. Here comes Goodrum. Here comes Pinder's throw. He's got a good arm, and it is there, and it's not quite in time. Man, what a throw by Chad Pinder. But Goodrum with good speed, and he just got under the tag of Lucroy.
Well, just a little bit up the first base line, and maybe that was just enough for Goodrum to get his hand in before he could make the tag on the backside, and that's the head first slide. Dangerous, but now, because catchers can't block the plate, it's one of those plays that is a good one for one who can slide around. Lucroy had to reach back, and by that time, he was across the plate.
So 4 first inning runs here for the Tigers, and now Victor Reyes will hit. Reyes checks his swing, and it's a strike.
Yeah, I think there are times in Frankie Montas 4-1. Only loss was against the Astros in his 4th start. Other than that, he's gotten a lot of run support and he's pitched well, but a little bit of adversity. And White Sox are the Astros, you can imagine, because they're a very good team. They hit mistakes and a good, fundamentally sound baseball team. And you have to go into every start thinking that you're facing World Series champs. Not that he's taken this team lightly, but it's not been a good start for him.
Well, Blaine Hardy's sitting back, enjoying what's going on. 0-2 to Reyes. Taps this one slowly. Barreto's got it, and the throw to first is just in time to get the speedy Victor Reyes, but damage done. 4 runs on 4 hits for the Tigers.
is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Got a dog alert, Ray. Hot dog alert. They never look bad when they're on that grill. I know not everybody agrees with me on that, but
no, they always look good on the grill for sure.
Olsen, Piscotty, and Canna here in the second inning. A little work to do for the A's, but we said that in Chicago as well, and the A's came roaring back. So shutdown inning opportunity for Blaine Hardy, reliever turned starter.
Now, the important thing for the A's just to get on the board. They did it Saturday with Piscotty's 2-run home run after a 5-run first.
Hit very high left field. That's Victor Reyes coming in. And he waits, and he's got it. So here's Stephen Piscotty. He hit a big home run yesterday. It tied the game.
It was against Coleman, and it ended up being down the left field line, and that would tie it and also give the A's their 26th consecutive road game with at least one home run. Ongoing major league record.
Piscotty, 7 homers, 33 RBIs, and a .256 batting average. So Piscotty's been a hot hitter, right? It's good to see. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, 9 for 23, but really it's been the whole month of June. He's looked like a much different hitter than he did in May.
Well, that's what the skipper said, talking about Piscotty. And again, maybe just a little bit of taking some time to get acclimated to the new league, which he has had to do. When you change things, it may not seem that much of a difference, but it is.
Piscotty, a 4-pitch walk.
And that at bat right there says a lot about somebody swinging the bat well. Took every pitch like he knew it was going to be out of the strike zone. Wasn't over anxious and took the 4-pitch walk.
So 1-out base runner. Here's Mark Canna. Canna at .253. He's got 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, and it's a strike.
Nice thing about Canna, 8 of those 10 have come against southpaws, and another one in Blaine Hardy pitching tonight.
That's right, and the only guy in the American League who has more home runs against left-handed pitching is Giancarlo Stanton. He's got 10. It's okay if you're second to him.
Yeah.
Not close.
And I would venture to say with Giancarlo Stanton, every one of those has been something off speed. They try to fool him, and they can't fool him. He's too strong. There it is. Cruz with Solarte and Springer tied with 7 following Stanton and Canna.
Canna playing in his 59th game. This is game number 80 for the Athletics, so he's playing a lot, but he's still not playing on an absolute everyday basis like the rest of the names on that list. So after tomorrow's game, the A's will be halfway through this 2018 season. Right now they're 41-38,
which has surprised a lot of people.
Sure. Canna goes after the off-speed pitch. They've won 7 out of 9. The A's are 21-18 on the road, and they're 5-2 on the current 10-game road trip. The A's have not been 4 games over 500 this year. They're trying to do it for the first time tonight. That's high. A's have played good baseball in the month of June. They've scored the 2nd most runs in the American League this month. Tied for the 2nd most home runs. .258 batting average, which you think, well, that's not that high, but nowadays that is pretty high.
Yeah, considering the number of strikeouts.
Yeah, batting average, team batting averages are going down. Marcana taps it foul. So 2-2 the count to Marcana with Lucroy waiting in the on-deck circle. I got the A's 12-10 in the month of June. Does that sound right?
That sounds exactly right.
Canna reaches for that one, hits it foul into the lower level. Good look at the defensive setup, pretty straight away. And, Martin, the center fielder, just a couple steps into right center. Now he actually moves over a couple more steps.
I remember Ron Gardenhire managed for many years with the Twins without a lot of the analytics, and it's the step off throw over that you see left-handers sometimes able to do. There's Ron Gardenhire, first-year manager of the Twins, talking to Avila, the general manager, and I said, hey, you made a good hire. And he says, you know, it's amazing. The guy's got a lot of energy, which I guess says a lot for someone who is 60 years old, and they start looking at younger types. But here's a veteran, and probably just as important, Kipe, the one thing when he won his 1,100th game, 1,100th game, there's Avila, the general manager, but the players, as he said, poured a very cold beverage over him. And he said, when you get old, that's really cold.
It gets colder as you get
older. Yeah,
older.
It gets a lot colder. And he said that the great Tito Francona told him, Terry said, you know, when you've won that many games, it means we're getting old. So, but congratulations for Ron Gardenhire, over 1,100 victories. 1,000th came with the Twins, 1,100th with this club.
Winningest manager in Twins history.
That's right.
How about that?
That's right. Yeah.
As the manager of the Twins, he went 1,068 and 1,039. A winning percentage of .507, which, listen, you manage that long, you're going to have some good teams. You may have some bad teams as well.
Yeah.
But Ron Gardenhire, Bob Melvin on the list. Right center, Martin over into deep right center. So Canna hit that ball pretty well, but that area out there is sort of Death Valley. I mean, it jets out by the out-of-town scoreboard, and right center to deep right center is a long ways. And it's not as long as it used to be, but it's still a long way.
Matt Joyce hit one right in front of the out-of-town scoreboard yesterday. That's the sign. That's center field straight away, 420. And it is really similar to Yankee Stadium, left center and right center. So if you're smart, as Jed Lowry was yesterday, down the 330 line. And Stephen Piscotty also down the left field line at 345, hitting home runs yesterday. Jonathan Lucroy in the 3-run 8th inning did this to get this base hit before Franklin Barreto hit his. Line drive to left center field.
So a couple of 2-out hits.
That's right.
There's a strike. 0-2 to Jonathan Lucroy, hitting .268. Homer, 21 RBIs.
Saw the 420 sign straightaway center. You think they don't miss Miguel Cabrera? He hit the ivy behind. That's a shot.
Regularly.
Yeah, that's it's a 420, and that's probably one of the deepest. Remember, it's 440 Old Tiger Stadium to center field.
Lucroy checks his swing, and he did not go. Yeah, it says 420 to straightaway, which I'm sure it is. And I wonder too, Ray, as that center field wall obviously goes straight across toward deep left center, deep right center, it may be 410 to, you know, to the left and to the right of that.
Exactly.
Center. It's a long ways out there.
But let's not forget, as that green wall goes over, and they put they moved the fences in and saved them $160 million. But there is the bullpen. Both bullpens there. They used to be tiered to the right. Just to refresh a memory of those folks. That used to be a home run to the back wall. So you can imagine 2 mounds for the bullpens And Juan Gonzalez said, nope, can't do it.
Swing and a miss. Lucroy strikes out, and that ends the inning. First strikeout for Hardy. Bottom of the second, coming up, 4-0 Tigers.
The Padres, all participants that purchase special ticket for this event will receive an A's co-branded patriotic cap, or if you bring out a group of 15, you get this hat for free. Special bonus day after game for post-game fireworks and watch from the field. Visit athletics.com/military for more details.
Bottom of the second inning, going to be Dixon Machado to lead it off. He's the 9th place hitter for the Tigers, playing second base. So see if Frankie Montas can bounce back and have an easy inning. The first inning was not an easy inning. Gave up 4 runs and 4 hits and threw 23 pitches. So 3-0. Martin to follow, and then Candelario.
Well, you'd like to think he went back to the dugout thinking that he left a runner in scoring position, got the final out on the ground ball by Reyes. They start this inning, the first 3 out of the strike zone, but does get a strike.
And there's the walk. So Machado's aboard. Second walk issued by Montas.
Well, 3 in his last start against the Padres, 4 in the previous start against the Astros. Also gave up 11 hits in the game against Houston.
Here's Martin, who opened up the first inning by a base hit to right field. First pitch to Martin in the dirt. The Tigers are 36-43 on the year now. They're sitting on a 6-game losing streak. Last time they won a game was last Sunday in Chicago. And Ray, after the game, they beat the White Sox. Tigers' record was 36-37.
Yep.
You know what? For a rebuilding team, they had to be thrilled with that.
That's right.
They haven't won since, and now they're 7 games under 500.
They played a team called the Cleveland Indians, and things didn't go that great for them. And I say that because the A's are going to see the Indians when they return to the Coliseum this weekend, and then the following weekend in Cleveland.
Yep.
So just like with the Royals, back-to-back weekends against the team from the Central, and then be done with it.
Yeah, the Tigers, during this 6-game losing streak, not counting tonight's game, they have been outscored 45-15, and most of that damage was done over the weekend by the Indians in Cleveland. 2-1 to count. Tigers last year 64 and 98. That was actually tied the Giants for the worst record in baseball. The Tigers got the #1 pick. Casey Mize, who was here yesterday, signed his contract. He was here today as well in the booth right next door. $7.5 million. The young man had a little smile on his face.
Yeah, you think? Yeah.
Casey Mize, he's a right-handed pitcher from Auburn.
What did it say? They saved what, $500,000 they can use towards their #2 draft choice?
I think they signed him.
Yeah. I guess he had the option of going to college and that extra money. Okay, outside.
Yeah. 3-1 pitch. And that's bounced into right field again, a base hit. Machado makes an aggressive turn, but he's going to stay at second. And Leonis Martin has done it twice. Ground ball through the right side into right field.
Well, you can only play him so far over to the right side, and unfortunately that was not the case with the runner being held. Good sinker from Montas, but there's the hole, and that's what left-handers should try to do, hit the hole there. Good job by Piscotty getting to the ball to keep Machado at second.
So 2 on, nobody out.
20th multi-hit game for Leonis Martin already in this season.
And here's Jeimer Candelario. First pitch to Candelario is low. Here's the top 10 draft picks this year. Mize, as we said. Joey Bart just signed with the Giants. Catcher. So the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high school, and then our guy Kyler Murray, our first 5 guys college, and some high school guys, and then the A's taking Kyler Murray from Oklahoma with the 9th pick. So that was the top 10 from this year's draft. Center field, Canna trotting in, waiting, and he's got it, 1 away. And now here's Castellanos, who's a hot hitter. Got to pitch to him here, though.
Well, you got to make quality pitches, too. You can't make mistakes because a hot hitter is going to take advantage of mistakes.
Line to double down the left field line in the first inning. Castellanos, 3rd in the American League in hits. So he's racking them up. Altuve, Segura, Castellanos. There's your top 3 hit leaders.
I think that swing did look like JD Martinez.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, a lot of opposite field home runs for JD Martinez and Castellanos, and the one constant with those 2 hitters, they both played with a teammate named Miguel Cabrera.
Has to rub off, doesn't it?
I think you could learn a lot from one of the best hitters in the game.
And there is JD Martinez. He's on the hits list. He's 4th, tied with Eddie Rosario. Altuve, Segura, no surprise with those 2 guys.
What did you call him, Gene?
Yeah,
the hit
Gene,
machine?
the hit machine. Well, the Tigers where they're at, not having a whole lot of star players, and Castellanos having a big year, he'd probably be the all-star representative for Detroit, and it's well deserved.
He also might be traded right after the All-Star break. Yeah, that's one of the problems of being good on a team that's not going anywhere. And the Tigers, of course, in a Central Division, but the fact that the Indians are putting a little space between them, is Jonathan Lucroy off his catcher's mitt, off his mask. Just another bump and bruise. But if you are good on a good team, or a team that is trying to rebuild, you may be a chip for a lot of good pieces.
One-two pitch is inside. Well, last year, speaking of JD Martinez, he was traded to the Diamondbacks, but Martinez was going to be a free agent after last year, and then of course he signed with the Red Sox. Castellanos is just really kind of coming to his own. He will not be a free agent until after next year. So if you traded for him, you would have him this year and all of next year.
And he could be a third baseman or outfielder,
Yeah,
and that's what is a plus for him, or a team who might be getting him. Yeah, thinking about the screen that really extends beyond maybe the farthest we've seen. Thinking about the game in San Diego, and that's a screen. But what that does, it really prohibits a fielder from going into the stands to catch a ball.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know, it's we saw it in San Diego, but it really makes it a difficult play. So the Derek Jeter in New York would never play.
No, he would have ricocheted right back off the netting. But in this ballpark, of all the parks we've been in, the netting goes down the furthest. It goes all the way down, well past the tarp. See, it goes all the way down the line. And I think most places it'll go down to the end of the dugout. But this is another extension. It's a good A's fan right there.
Double jersey plus a T-shirt. Yeah.
Tapped foul. So 3-2, good speed with Machado at second, Martin at first.
See, you know that play right there that Dave Clark 5 just caught. He is halfway down the line, coaching third base. Technically, unless the ball goes past the bag, it's not considered a foul ball. He caught that ball.
That's right. It could have had spin on it.
That could have spin. It could have hit something, gone back fair, and it could have been a double play. See where he's playing? First of all, that's not under the new guidelines illegal because he's supposed to be in the box or behind, not in front.
Another 3-2 pitch misses inside, and the bases are loaded. So another high-stress inning for Montas.
Now watch this. This is a foul ball, and really he catches it. And granted, the odds of it spinning back are unlikely, but really he should let it go. And I remember many years ago, Alvin Darks screamed at the third base coach, "Let it go," because you never know. And I just wonder if somebody could have said, "Hey, you interfered with the baseball," before it really became a foul ball. But Dave Clark 5, he does move down the line. Maybe one of the happiest third base coaches to wear a helmet.
Feels like it's cooling off a little bit, doesn't it, Ray?
Yeah, and the rain's coming. But like you said, late tonight, all day tomorrow. Supposed to be clear by game time tomorrow.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, you're right. It's supposed to rain all day.
Because that's the air conditioner that's blowing out cold air behind us, too.
Yeah, I got icicles in the back of my head.
Well, if the A's can get a ground ball, they could possibly get a double play if the ground ball is to the right side, because the whole left side of the infield is open.
How about that?
Yeah.
Venezuelan-born players. Most RBIs, Cabrera and Victor Martinez. Big Cat, Andres Galarraga on there, Bobby Abreu. Victor Martinez, 2,096 career hits, 241 career home runs. He's been a good player for a long time. And that one's lined up the middle right there, picked up by Simeon. He throws to first after stepping on second, and the A's get the double play. Well positioned, Marcus Simeon.
hard hit, but right back up the middle past Frankie Montas, and DeMarcus Simeon took his time as Victor Martinez did hit it hard under normal circumstances before the overshifts. That's a base hit up the middle, but right to Marcus, knocked it down, got to the bag, and completed the double play, exactly what Frankie Montas needed.
Barreto, Simeon, and Pinder here in the third inning against Blaine Hardy. A's have had one base runner in each of the first 2 innings. Lowry with a 2-out single in the first, and Piscotti with a 1-out walk in the second, but they have not been able to do anything with it. So see if Barreto can get things going. He had the big double that tied the game yesterday, and it came with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, that was a rope to left center. Scoring Lucroy from first base.
So Franklin Barreto for the 7th consecutive game in the A's starting lineup.
Straight up defense for the A's second baseman.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Took a little off, 84 miles an hour. Second strikeout for Blaine Hardy.
Well, right towards the middle, a little bit elevated, and there's the velocity, there's the location, and unfortunately for Barreto, a swing and a miss.
So there's Marcus Simeon. The longest Hardy has gone in any of his starts is 7 innings. And he really hasn't gotten knocked out of any start early.
Yeah.
He's gone 6 innings 3 times. So who knows? Maybe the Tigers have found something.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, you really don't. And the fact that he's left-handed and does not throw hard, that makes him really pretty good.
Sure. He hits the outside corner there and gets his 3rd consecutive strikeout. Seems like he's got a little bit of an idea what he's doing out there. He works quickly.
Definitely works quickly. That's the thing. I mean, he'll get the ball and stretch and let it go, and fool Marcus with a little backdoor slider. And really not overpowering with any of his pitches. And if his fastball does not hit the 90 mile per hour mark as a hitter, you cannot look. You have to provide your own power, put it that way.
Bounce to the right side, right to Dixon Machado. So a very quick inning for Blaine Hardy. Couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. 4-0 Detroit. from Comerica Park in Detroit. Nico Goodrum to lead things off. Talking baseball. Breaking it down. Here is Nico Goodrum, who had a 2-run double in the first.
See that guy, the Tigers, was saying, son, these clouds mean rain.
Smells like rain.
And the other guy said in California it's called fog.
It's called marine layer.
That's right. Yeah, Midwest, when it clouds up like this, as you well know from Wisconsin, it rains, and sometimes it can rain hard.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it cools off, it gets a little breezy.
And the old smell of rain.
Yep.
Yeah. You just don't think it happens, but it does.
Could have been a strike.
It sure could have.
Probably should have been a strike. That one not so much. 3-1. "23 pitches in the first. 21 in the second. And he's now at 48. You know, it's Ray, even though Montas struggling some, starts like this are important for a young guy.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Keep your team in the game.
This is a sinking fastball. You'll throw it with a little movement on it. Actually, it's not what that was called. He shook to the changeup, and Lucroy called a sinking fastball, but Montas wanted to throw something off speed. But I asked Sean Manaea tonight. I said, from your standpoint, pitching as well as you did in April, not so well in May, better now. I said, and he talked about trying to figure some things out. But I said, mental, physical. He said about 95% mental. He said, I was so unsure of myself when I'd wind up. He said, I started thinking, are my mechanics right? Is my arm in the right slot? Are my legs moving? And you start thinking that much as a pitcher, you're done. And
that's not fair, Nico. Sorry, Ray, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
he fouled the ball off his foot.
Yeah.
It popped up, his helmet came off, and then it hit him in the face.
Yeah. How about this? Boing.
Oh, that is just not fair.
Yeah, the fact that his helmet came off didn't hurt or didn't help. It hurt, probably, off his head. Wow.
Well, he's got a little smile, so luckily looks like he's okay.
See, that will be a highlight reel for somebody.
Unfortunately, yeah. Drills it to center. Canna came in a little bit. Now he goes back, and he makes the K. So 1 away. Well, tomorrow, the A's are going to bring back Chris Bassett, and he is going to start Game 3 of the series. He'll be opposed by the veteran Mike Fiers. So Bassett up, and what's going to happen tomorrow, Ray, is Daniel Migden's going to go on the disabled list.
Unfortunately.
He's got a strained right foot.
Yeah.
So nothing damaged in there outside of just it being strained. But
well, the good news, you have some of the guys who are on the disabled list are on the rehab assignments. A's did get Ryan Buchter back yesterday, left-handed reliever. Anderson's pitching, Cahill's pitching. Actually, Cahill on the rehab, or Anderson on the rehab. Cahill throwing off the mound with his Achilles injury.
Seriously, though, how about the injuries to the A's rotation?
Thank you.
You know, everybody has injuries. We get that. But sheer volume of injuries to A's starting pitchers.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know the number. It's like 8.
Well,
like
if you count A.J. Puck and Jarrell Cotton, two
Absolutely.
guys, you know,
Yeah.
it comes up. Tomorrow would be the 8th.
Absolutely. And even guys who are back now that were Blackburn.
Yeah.
Anderson, Cahill, Cotton, Puck, Blackburn, Gossett.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
And now Migden. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Triggs, forgot about Andrew Triggs.
That's right.
No disrespect.
Then you got Chapman, who,
of course, Chapman, your star third baseman.
But you know, they got lucky in a sense with Edwin Jackson pitching yesterday, because had Mencken been okay, he had an out.
Sure.
He had an out with the Nationals.
He being Edwin Jackson.
Edwin Jackson had the out in his contract because, of course, he tied a record yesterday that Octavio Dotel evidently didn't like.
Lowry throws, and it's not in time. So an infield hit for the big first baseman, John Hicks.
Jackson yesterday, fastball was outstanding. Good slider. See, basically fastball slider, but his location was spectacular. And I think Jonathan Lucroy said it best. Even though he had never caught him, he had faced him enough, he knew exactly what he had. 13th team yesterday, tied a record for the most teams to play. Tied Octavio Dotel, who evidently, according to Susan Slusher, called him in Dominican Republic. He said, I don't want sometime to break that record. He's unhappy that Jackson got to 13 to tie him.
Well, they're also friends, though. They're
oh, yeah.
buddies.
Yeah, exactly. But one thing Edwin Jackson said, I want a jersey that has every logo on it. I said, well, talk to Gaylord Perry. He already has one.
Swinging and a miss by McCann. So Edwin Jackson did a good job.
Did a great job. When he threw the one that was 96, he said he wanted to be a kid one time a week.
That's right, it's a good line.
A good line.
He was good when he was here. When
Yes,
he was a Tiger,
yeah.
he had some of his best seasons. He was pretty nasty.
Interesting thing, yesterday was the anniversary of his no-hitter 8 years ago.
High to left center. Pinder, and now Canna takes charge. Pinder bails out. So that's out number 2.
Not often you can pitch a no-hitter. You can walk 8 and throw 149 pitches, but he got the job done with the Diamondbacks.
So here's Victor Reyes with 2 outs. So we always remember the game here with Edwin Jackson where he pitched, I'm guessing now, I want to say the first 4 innings, and then it started to rain.
4 down rain.
And it rained for a couple hours maybe, and you're thinking, well, we won't see Edwin Jackson anymore. And he came back out and he was throwing 3 miles per hour faster.
He had an 8-0 lead too. He said, I'm not going to give that up to somebody in the bullpen.
He came back and it was his fastball went from 94 to 97.
Well, that's smelling a win, and he got it. But you're right. That's a memorable game, and a lot of times there's a certain time that a manager will say, okay, you're not going to go back out, because after a certain time you figure you can't get loose. But you're right. He did throw harder.
Into left field, a base hit. Victor Reyes just reached out and pokes it into left. So 2 on and 2 out, and that'll bring up Dixon Machado.
And this is just good hitting. Fastball outside. Jed Lowry off the line, but still just served it into left field.
Nothing easy tonight for Frankie Montas, as he's now at 64 pitches. Machado walked leading off the 2nd inning. Remember when Edwin Jackson got the huge contract from the Cubs?
Yeah.
4 years, $52 million.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Just missed off the plate, and now it's 2-0.
Chris Hatcher was up last inning, and Marcus Jensen and Zach Hatcher said, okay, I'm ready. I'm not going to throw any more until you decide what you're going to do. You can't get up too many times. But I think, to your point, Frankie needs to figure out a way to get out of this mess himself. Pitch count might get him, but he's got to be able to experience some adversity, and he's definitely done that in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, Tigers have had 10 base runners so far in this game. So 3-0 to Machado, and the pitch is right there for a strike. 95 miles an hour. Hicks at second, Reyes at first. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch on a hitter's count, 3-1.
And maybe that's the thing that's helped him the most, because he did it earlier. And if he doesn't have his good fastball, doesn't feel the control, so he goes with the slider at 86. Kind of pitching backwards as far as utilization of his pitches. Fastball usually mid-90s with sink is a good one.
Three-two, 2 outs. Runners take off, and the ball's rolled foul. .26 pitches in this inning.
Yeah.
That one is driven to the gap, and that's going to be trouble. Canna's not going to get it. It's going to score 2. Machado is going to head for third, and Machado is going to make a head-first slide with a 2-run triple, and it's 6-0 Tigers.
Well, the 9th place hitter, a walk, and this. That's as center cut as you could get. He fouled off a slider to get another chance at another 3-2, and then, I mean, unfortunately for him, this is a home run in most cases, but he's going to be satisfied with a double and then decide to go for 3. That's how much speed he has.
For the Tigers, that's their 22nd triple of the year, and that's the most in the American League.
Well, this is the size of the park that really does that. And
first pitch to Martin is in for a strike.
he hit a ball in the gap, right center, left center, especially right center here. It's like the triples alley in San Francisco.
Yeah, triples alley in both alleys.
Yeah.
0-1. Martin has singled twice and scored a run. Six runs on 8 hits for the Tigers. Barreto charges, scoops it, underhands to first. Olsen reaches up, grabs it, and that will do it. Tigers get 2 runs on 3 hits. 4th inning coming up. 6-0 Detroit. road home runs and where they rank in the American League. The A's, of course, hitting a ton of home runs on the road. Chris Davis has 11 of his 20 on the road. That's tied for third. Lowry with 10 of his 12 on the road. And the list goes on and on. Olson with 10 of his 17 on the road. It's one of the unexplained statistics of the 2018 Oakland A's, Ray. 70 home runs in 39 road games. 36 home runs in 40 home games. And we've tried to figure out the what, the where, and the how. And I don't think there's an explanation.
No, and I really don't think the Coliseum is one that you could say, well, the ball doesn't carry, because it does. It's just maybe the pitching.
Yeah, not to that extreme.
No,
you know?
no, and maybe the pitching that guys are doing better against certain pitchers on the road versus the Coliseum, but who knows?
How about this, Ray? The A's as a team on the road average 5.5 runs per game. At home, 3.6. That's 2 runs different.
Yeah.
Record-wise, we said the A's 21-18 on the road. At home, they're 20-20. That one is lined and it's just foul. But some things they're just maybe not an explanation for. He may know. He may have the answer. He's an A's fan. He's been following the A's all year. We're listening. Maybe Milwaukee Mauler. Maybe the Mauler knows. 2-2 the count. See, the Mauler, he probably, he's got a theory.
Explaining it right now.
Yeah. Lowry is 2 for 2.
He actually explained that we need to change seats because I got the guy sitting next to me.
He did. Change seats with his friend. Let's try to change things up a little.
Yeah. That's probably why he changed seats. He said, this is not working, so let's move. Let's change seats.
There he is. And I know you guys have, gals watching him, heard us talk about the Mauler. Comes to Cleveland, comes to Detroit. And he is a big A's fan. Castellanos has it. So Davis and a towering fly ball is retired.
Yeah, he was in Pittsburgh several years ago when the A's were there. And he plays Midwest, and he's in the Youngstown, Ohio area. Right close there into the Pittsburgh area, between there and Youngstown.
He's a good man.
Yes, he is. He said, hey, should I put my outfit on? So I guess he still got it. He said it still fits, too.
That helmet?
No, the Milwaukee Mauler outfit. The professional wrestling.
He was a professional wrestler with the nickname of the Milwaukee Mauler.
Yeah.
Square business. We're not lying to you.
That's right. And we know it's legit.
Oh, yeah. He bear hugged me in Cleveland, and I think he snapped a rib. It's just now healing, and that was 2 years ago. 1-1 to Olson. A's need a bunch.
Well, he's becoming an artist as he redid the photographs from the A-team that we had at one time, and photographs that were taken, paintings.
Check swing roller. Candelaria fires to second for 1, and they get the lead out. Kind of a check swing by Olson.
So they say it's a 5-6.
I guess that would be a 5-6.
Oh my gosh. 5-6 at second base. That's, oh well.
First pitch to Piscotty, just a touch high. First place Astros are underway. They're hosting the Blue Jays. No score in the second inning. We'll keep an eye on that one. Astros and the Blue Jays playing game 2 of that series. Blue Jays won last night 6-3.
Thanks to Randall Grichuk. What a catch he made in right field. The
He was
best
all over the place, wasn't
The best shot was of the fan behind who closed the glove and looked at it and said, "There's no baseball there."
That's right.
The fan.
George Springer stood between
Yeah.
home plate and first base. Couldn't believe it.
Could not believe it. Last year, it's a 3-run home run.
Charlie Morton going tonight for the Astros. He's 9-1 with a 2.74 ERA. Astros at 52-28. They got the 3rd best record in all of baseball.
The check swing. It was called a strike by Lance Barksdale, first base umpire. Which question?
That one stays outside. So full count. We'll get Olson on the move at first base. Tigers play Piscotty a little bit toward right center field. Hardy delivers. It's hit hard. Nice play by the shortstop Goodrum. He's going to throw to first, and it's dropped by Hicks. And that's going to allow Olson to go to third. I have no idea what John Hicks was doing.
Thinking too much.
Yeah, his glove was in an odd spot.
The play there, robbed the base hit, and then the throw. Clank. Trying to grab it with his bare hand, but I mean a good throw, so it's got to be an assist for Goodrum, but an error on Hicks. It hit him in the heel of the glove.
So you're right. Just a good old-fashioned E3, and it allowed Olson to go to third. So first and third. And that one is drilled left field corner, and it is a fair ball. And it bounced up into the seats, so Olson will score. Piscotty will have to stay at third. So the A's take advantage of a mistake, which they do a lot of. And now it's 6-1.
Well, if they could take advantage of this one right now with another 2-out base hit. But Canna pulled the hands in perfectly on this pitch. Breaking ball. Stayed in the middle of the plate. He just took it a little bit too much, but it was close to being into the seats and lands right in front of the foul pole and then catapults up into the seats. It's a Tiger fan right in the chest.
Well, now a Luke Croy hit and you're back in the game.
Yeah, in just the 4th inning.
First pitch is in first strike.
Well, it cost the A's a run by bouncing into the stands. Of course, yesterday, same thing happened with the ball that Leonis Martin hit way back in right center. But that's right before Castellanos hit the home run.
A little bit outside, off-speed pitch. 1-1 to Luke Croy, who struck out in the second inning.
Chris Bosio, pitching coach, watching his left-hander. Boz with the champion Chicago Cubs.
.72 pitches for Hardy. .92 is the most he has thrown this year. Lucroy hits it hard, fair. And that's going to drive home a pair, and we do have a game. It's now 6-3. Lucroy yesterday with a huge 2-out hit, and another one tonight.
Well, good teams do take advantage of mistakes, and the A's 3 unearned runs in this inning thanks to a couple of hits, one by Canna and Jonathan Lucroy pulling it inside the line. You saw the shot of Chris Bosio. He is going to take a slow walk to the mound now, but really this is a case of almost you think, I want my pitcher to get out of it, but I have a feeling he's not. And these 3 unearned runs, while they will not show up on his ERA, but they're right now showing up positive for the Athletics as Bosio takes the walk to the mound. And Cap, to your point about how many pitches he has thrown after that error, you start counting the number of pitches that he throws because of the error.
It'll be an inning's worth, probably.
Exactly. And now if the A's can keep it going with another Barreto hit, he did it yesterday, and try to do the same tonight. But score is now 6-3. Frankie Montas, who we shall see if he goes out for the 4th, as he has given up 6. So it looks like Chris Hatcher, he's either ready to come in or he has sat down, and Montas is going to go back out. Right now, Franklin Barreto is keep it going.
Barreto struck out in the 3rd, and the first pitch is low. So a very costly error by the Tigers on what was really just a pretty normal throw to first base.
Yep.
Hicks, the first baseman, just missed it. It was not anywhere near being in the dirt. It would have been the 3rd out, and now the A's have scored 3 times.
And you know, if they don't score another run, scoring 3 has been outstanding. But this ball about knee high, he turns his glove up, but it hit the heel of the glove. He didn't watch the ball into his glove, and for Scotty, that was routine 3-2. And really, maybe the positive thing there is the fact that Olsen was on the move on the 3-2 pitch. Otherwise, it would have been a flip to second instead of the throw to first.
And if you're John Hicks, since that error, it's probably been, what, maybe 5 or 6 minutes? It feels like an hour.
At least. At least.
He just wants to get back in the dugout. 1-2. Barreto waves that bat out in front.
If I did that in Valencia, Venezuela, and I came back in the dugout, and fans let me know about it. They heck with the players, the fans, because
well, they had money on the
game. They wagered at every pitch. I mean, heck with. I mean,
you were not safe.
Oh no, I ran and I went fast into the dugout. Fortunately, I didn't understand what they were saying.
Reached for and poked foul, so Barreto spoils a pretty good pitch from Hardy.
Well, one thing Skipper Bob Melvin said about Franklin Barreto, and we talked about how well he's hitting the ball in spring training right field. Bob Melvin thought he was hitting the ball or trying to hit the right side too much, and thought it's interesting. And he said, "Hey, be yourself." And of course, he hit some home runs yesterday or over the weekend in Chicago, and then hit a big double left center field yesterday. But and he says sometimes when you try to do too much with the ball to go to the opposite field, it works against you.
I mean, I think you look at Barreto and you see his. I mean, he's not very tall. He's strong.
Yeah.
But I don't think when you look at him you should say, well, that's a speed guy, because he's not. Yeah. He's strong.
Yes, he's very strong, and he's
going to hit for some pretty good power. I think when it's all said and done. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Off speed pitch. But the A's are back in it. They score 3 unearned runs, and it's now 6-3.
with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
So it's now a 6-3 game. So the A's take advantage of Tigers' air. Anyway, he's got a new pitcher when it's time for change. The Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts, as it's Chris Hatcher taking over here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hatcher did not pitch yesterday. It was Petit, Buchter, and Trevino and Trinan. Those are the 4 guys that pitched yesterday.
Well, and you think back to Saturday when Mengden, who unfortunately just the 2 innings, as Frankie Montas' line is 74 pitches in 3 innings. 3 walks, 1 scored, just 1 strikeout, 8 hits. But with Mengden 2 innings on Saturday and the 2-run home run by Piscotty made it a 5-2 game. And basically that's when Bob Melvin went into the bullpen and said, we got to go and worry about tomorrow.
So first pitch to Jamer Candelario is a strike. Walk and a run scored in the first. Fly ball to center field in the second for Candelario. Hatcher pitched on Saturday in Chicago. A couple of innings. And that one is high, 2-1.
Well, the great thing what the bullpen did in that game, although the White Sox did tie the game at 6, basically after the 2nd inning, the White Sox only scored 1 in 7 innings thanks to the A's outstanding bullpen of 7 innings of work. And it looks like they're going to try to do the same tonight. The bullpen can hold down the Tigers in their offense.
3-1. Castellanos on deck, and then Victor Martinez here in the bottom of the 4th. One pitch is a swing and a miss right on the outside corner. There's a base hit center field. So the 3rd time in 4 innings that the Tigers have had their leadoff man on.
Well, falling behind as he did and elevated the pitch at 92, and just one of those types of at-bats that if you get behind, the hitter went 3-1, 3-2, and gets a base hit. Foul the ball straight back on a 3-1.
All right, here's Nicholas Castellanos. RBI double and a run scored in the first. He walked in the second. .45 RBIs on the year for Castellanos. Last year he knocked in 101. Had 26 home runs.
Good thing that he does, and just watching him, Montas and his last at bat before he walked in his first pitch. Watch how he pulls the hands in and takes an inside pitch and doesn't really jam himself. He's able to get the hands in and head of the bat and actually pull the pitch.
One and one the count to Castellanos. Mariners and the Orioles are tied 1-1, bottom of the 6th inning. That's game 2 of the 4-game series in Baltimore. Mariners trying to finish a road trip strong. It has not been a good road trip for them. They are 2-5 on a 10-game trip. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
How about the Orioles, Chris Davis, and how well he's come back since returning from the disabled list. He went on the DL and all of a sudden started to hit some home runs.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for him.
Oh, wow. For the entire Orioles team, and they can't do anything with him. They've got his contract.
Astros with a 3.5 game lead over the Mariners in the AL West. And look today, Ray, the Mariners and the Astros still have 13 games left against each other.
Huh.
So they've played 2 series. They got 4 series to go.
So they go 7-6, and they beat each other and let the other teams catch up.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking.
Hey, this is only game 80.
Red Sox leading the Angels 6-1, top of the 5th inning at Fenway. That's the first of a 3-game series. So the A's trying to get a little help from the Sox. The Angels had a makeup game yesterday in Kansas City.
Yes, they did.
That they lost 2-0. So that was the start of a 10-game trip. Line drive, base hit. Wow. And Castellanos is smoking hot. He's 2 for 2, been on base 3 times, and here come the Tigers again.
Got a Hatcher, 2 strikes on both hitters. Candelaria now to this batter. Castellanos, see how he pulled the hands in. That pitch inside, watch the hands. Pulls them in. It's just a good hitter. I mean, he may be the J.D. Martinez in 2018. It's not bad.
Nope. So 10 hits now for the Tigers.
Well, could Victor help the A's again with a ground ball?
Hey, Ray, did you know that so far in this game, now it's the top of the 4th, or make that the bottom of the 4th, 165 total pitches thrown. Did you know that?
No. Seems like.
Is that an interesting number to you? Not really.
Well, I mean, if you think about what 9 innings might be, then that would be a bigger number. Now, just really doesn't stand out. I'm glad he passed it to you.
We're teasing. Greg, our stat man here in Detroit, who's with us every year, and he does a great job. But we tease him. We make him work. Like we want quality notes from him.
Just like.
So, Greg, we'll give you that one, buddy. 1-1 to Victor Martinez, a line out, and then a double play. So he's come up in a couple key spots in this game, and the A's have gotten him out, especially the double play in the 2nd inning because the bases were loaded with 1 out. Martinez hit a ball pretty hard right up the middle. But Marcus Semien was right there.
And, you know, this is where the bullpen, the guys down in the pen know that it's up to them to try to keep this a close game, to give the offense a chance to come back. And so there's a little frustration on the face of Hatcher. Let's see, Buchter, the second from the right, talking about his move.
That's a shot foul.
You know, he might have been looking at emulating the former move of one Chris Hatcher.
So 2-2 the count. Nico Goodrum,
Greg's
switch hitter, waiting in the on-deck circle.
Greg's trying to give you a good note, but he can't reach over here. He's trying to tell you that Victor Martinez is the only Tiger who hasn't reached base tonight, just as he's at the plate.
Well, we know whose fault it is if he gets a hit.
That's right. They take so long, it might start raining.
Just a touch low. Pretty good take by Victor Martinez.
3-2, 2-2, 3-2. A lot of pitches already. And this guy, you don't want to groove one to it.
Full shift on. Simeon right behind second base. And here is the 3-2 pitch. And it's hit in the air to right. Piscotti coming in, and Piscotti has it. Shows off his arm. So they get Victor Martinez again. So 3 times Martinez has come up with runners in scoring position and has not come through.
Still the only Tiger not to reach base tonight.
That's right. I just heard that. Here's Nico Goodrum.
That is a big out, though. I mean, you'd like to get a ground ball to get 2.
Ramon Santiago is the first base coach for the Tigers. Wasn't that long ago he was running around out on the field playing.
Getting a lot of big hits against the A's, too. Right. There he is, first base coach for Ron Gardenhire. One of those former Tigers that stays on board. Omar Vizquel was there. Now he's managing in the minor leagues.
Here's Goodrum. Goodrum with a 2-run double in the first, and then he scored. And then in the 3rd inning, he hit a ball hard to Cannon center field. So he's hit a couple of balls hard. Good swing, fouls it straight back, right up over the screen. Here's the defensive alignment. Straight away in the infield for the most part. A's looking for 2. Goodrum's pretty fast.
And that's where, as an infielder, you realize who's hitting, the speed, and don't want to try to do too much around the bag of second if there is a ground ball that's hit.
Well, out in front of that one, off the tarp. So the tarp stays right there.
Boy, just made a friend forever.
Gave it to the young lady. Some of the dark clouds moving in from right to left. It's another 1-2 to Goodrum. And it's just off the plate, but a pretty good pitch by Hatcher.
That'd be nice if Chris Hatcher could put away a hitter before getting the count. That becomes 2-2, 3-2, which right now it is, and give Goodrum credit for laying off the pitch. Good pitch down in the zone. Good pitcher's pitch anyway.
So Hatcher, 21 pitches here in the 4th inning with 1 out.
Well, this is a case where Chris Hatcher has a pretty good idea what he wants to throw. Because all the time that's been taken is because the runner is second, and multiple signs given by Jonathan Lucroy. Ones that at this point are not liked by Chris Hatcher.
Olson's got it, spins around, fires to second for 1, on to first, not in time. And there you saw the speed by Goodrum and a nice play by Olson.
Fans, join us for the annual Bark at the Park event. A's return to the Coliseum this Friday, 7:05 against the Tribe. Cleveland Indians, presented by Aviderm Natural and Nalabone. All dogs and owners are invited to a pregame party as well as a parade on the field. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Dogs for Diabetics and ARF. Learn more at athletics.com/bark. That dog knows this is a long game. Just saying, wait a minute, I should be getting something to eat.
The Tribe coming to town. That should be a good weekend of baseball.
It's a good idea by Chris Hatcher getting in the bag quickly, because Marcus Semien did not have to throw to a moving target, especially with the runner at second going to third.
So here's Hicks. Hicks takes a strike. John Hicks, a strikeout, and then he singled and scored in the third. But I had Goodrum, you never know. Goodrum 6 for 7 in steal opportunities. Got a decent lead and a little lean going. And there's a base hit to right field. Run's going to come in to score. And Goodrum's going to go around to third. So Hicks trying to make up for the air, drives in a run. It's 7-3.
That's a big run for the Tigers, regardless of who hit it. And the fact that he was able to go to the opposite field, a little cutter from Chris Hatcher. In fact, also that Goodrum was not able to be doubled up on a ground ball that he hit sharply to first base. It's a good swing by the big first baseman.
So gets his 25th RBI. So a couple of big 2-out hits for the Tigers in this game. He got one in the first.
Yeah.
Machado's triple was a 2-out hit.
That's right.
It was in the third, and this one by Hicks. So runners at the corners again. McCann had a base hit that knocked in a run in the first inning. 11 hits for the Tigers, 4 hits for the Athletics. 1 error, and that was a costly one by Detroit. Popped up. Near home plate, Lucroy and Olsen will make the catch. But a run on 3 hits for the Tigers, so 7-3 Detroit after 4.
By Max Muscle Nutrition and its 30 NorCal locations. Professional health and nutrition advice available for all ages.
7-3 Tigers lead. It's the 5th inning.
Blaine Hardy, who had to work pretty hard in the 4th inning. He's going to face the top of the A's order. Simeon, Pinder, and Lowry. Simeon a pop out to second and a strikeout, so he's 0 for 2. Looking for his first hit in this series. Fouls that one straight back. He's had 5 runs and 12 hits yesterday, a couple of home runs.
Josh Lucas in the A's pen, so it looks like Hatcher too many pitches in his 1 inning. So another reliever getting loose.
2-1 the count, and a very close pitch down around the knees. And he walked him.
I thought it was 3-1. Board said 2-1, but we will tell you this for sure. MLB Advantage, your #1 athletics app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get A's home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. That's 39 no name.
Pinder, left field, and that baby's gone. 7-5.
7-5 and 27th. Another home run for the Athletics on the road, and Chad Pinder has the power to do it, and he just did it.
Seventh home run for Chad Pinder.
The A's broke the record on Sunday with the 25th. They got the 26th yesterday. Stephen Piscotty, Chad Pinder, the 27th in a row. Tonight on this pitch, right down the middle. Tell you, a good low ball hitter. Hardly any stride for Chad Pinder. And a high towering fly ball over everything. That was a legitimate home run even before they extended, or at least shortened the fences.
For the season, it's home run number 107 for the A's. They're 5th in the American League in home runs hit. Big part of their offense. Right field. And that baby's gone. 7-6.
Sixth time that's happened this year, and the A's keep it going. June the 20th, the last time. Cannon Olsen, tonight Pinder, and Jed Lowry going opposite field for the right side. That's always fun for him to go that direction. So Jed, remember, he had not hit a home run. Get up. That's what he's saying. Get up.
Get up.
Put it on the board.
So Jed Lowry now 13 home runs and 52 RBIs. So he's got 13 home runs in 80 games. What's the most home runs that Jed Lowry has ever hit in a season, Ray? You want to know?
Probably less than that.
16 with Houston
in
2012. He did that in 97 games.
And you know, Cap, his home run before the month of June was May the 11th at New York. He's hit one the 19th, the 20th, 25th, and now the 26th. So 4 already in this month after not hitting one for over a month, about 5 weeks as a matter of fact.
Last year, Jed hit 14 in 153 games. So he certainly, if he stays healthy, he's going to set his career high in home runs easily. 3-2 to Chris Davis. Still nobody out. It was 6-0 after 3 innings. And he missed outside. So Davis with the walk.
Well, Ron Gardenhire is not going to let him go the 5 innings required, because right now he does not believe that Blaine Hardy can go through this order again. So we'll see if Ron Gardenhire, the slow walk, disappointed walk, considering they had an early lead.
So 4+ innings for Blaine Hardy. And he leads with the score 7-6. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Most memorable moments in Oakland. Now we want the fans to pick the most memorable moment. Tonight it's Dallas Braden's perfect game in 2010 versus the Billy Ball era of the early 1980s. The A's clinch a postseason berth in 1981. That was fun. 81, a strike-shortened season, so the season was split, right, Ray? First half,
Yep.
second half.
Yeah, Royals won the second half. The A's at first. They lost the Royals. Tonight, just the top of the 5th inning, pitching change.
New pitcher is Buck Farmer. Farmer, the 27-year-old right-hander, appearing in his 38th game, so he's pitched a lot for the Tigers. 3-3. ERA shade over 5 as he faces Matt Olson. Swing and a miss. So Buck Farmer takes over for Blaine Hardy, who had things going his way for a while. An error cost him. He couldn't pitch around that. Ends up giving up 6 runs so far, and it's 7-6.
Let's see the number of pitches he threw in just 4+ innings, and that's what the A's do so well.
So 1-2 to the big first baseman Matt Olson. Olson 0 for 3 yesterday, walked a couple of times. Toward left, Reyes over to his left a couple of steps, and that's the first out here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Piscotty.
Farmer, an appearance against the A's last year in September, but his fastball just low 90s. Slider, changeup if he throws also. Will top out at 96 if he really airs it out, but more low to mid 90s.
Piscotty takes a little slider for a strike. That group right there is a bunch of Stephen Piscotty fans, and Stephen's father Mike is in that group. Now you're saying, well, he's a long ways from home. Actually, Mike Piscotti is from Michigan. So he has a bunch of family and friends here watching his son Steven play. So Mike Piscotti kind of entertaining that group, but there's a little more to the story. One of the people in that group, Ray, is a gentleman by the name of Paul Fortino. Paul Fortino is the guy who caught Steven Piscotty's home run at Fenway Park. Remember, he homered right after he came back from his
one of Rodriguez,
from his mother's funeral. And Paul Fortino sent the baseball to the Piscotties.
That's great.
He is actually from the Detroit area, and he's at the game with the Piscotties tonight, so they are enjoying themselves. So the A's are back in it. They score 3 times, a couple of home runs. Pinder a 2-run shot, Lowry a solo shot. So it is now a 7-6 game. Lowry with a homer. It's 7-6. So we got ourselves another tight game. Chris Hatcher back out there for his second inning of work. He'll face Reyes, Machado, and Leonis Martin. Victor Reyes a ground out, and he singled and scored in the 3rd inning. In the first strike.
So like Chris Hatcher went up to Skipper and said, "Hey Skip, I just got loose. Just threw 26 pitches. It took me 26 to get loose. I'm ready to go back out." Amazing thing about yesterday, when the A's scored the 3 runs in the 8th inning, had the A's not taken the lead, it was going to be Santiago Garcia, or at least had not tied the game. As it turned out, they did, and Trevino went back out, and the A's won it in the 9th inning. Says a lot about Trevino to be able to give up the 3-run home run and then go back out, but it's kind of the managerial strategy, and it's been good so far. The A's skipper Bob Melvin.
Victor Reyes gets jammed, a little pop-up into foul territory, so Hatcher got in big time on Reyes. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. This would be a good time to have a shutdown inning.
Well, that's because he got loose after throwing 26 pitches. Let's hope that's the case. But it's got to be frustrating, and I think that's what has happened several times this year. Remember one memorable one, the 14-inning game at the Coliseum against the White Sox, trying to blew the save, staying in 3 innings. I think pitchers, when they're frustrated, when they know they're supposed to do the job and they don't, they want to go back out.
Representing right there. Clay Thompson.
He's got his back to the field, too.
0-2 the count to Dixon Machado. He has walked and tripled home a pair of runs. Dixon Machado getting a lot of playing time this year with Kinsler no longer here playing second base. Kinsler traded to the Angels.
Kinsler traded the Angels thanks to Justin Upton, who also was with the Tigers and traded. And it's a big strikeout.
Indeed. So that's the first strikeout for Hatcher. 2 outs here in the 5th.
Yeah, especially since he had been on base a couple of times, had Machado, and of course had the big 2-run triple. This elevated fastball at 94. It's a good location. Choking up with the bat, still could not catch up to the ball.
Well, if you choke up, at least you're thinking about it, but then you take a swing like that.
Yeah.
You're sort of defeating the purpose of choking up. Two for 3 for Leonis Martin out of the leadoff spot. Takes a first pitch strike. Leonis Martin is now 30 years old. This is his 5th full year in the big leagues. Kind of a rising star with the Rangers.
Yeah. And
he had some good seasons there. Went to Seattle for a couple years. Just could not get it going in Seattle. Actually spent a little time with the Cubs last year.
Yeah, still is able to bunt and run.
Yep.
He can do both.
I always thought he was a good player because he's a very good defensive outfielder. He's got a very good arm, and he's fast.
Yeah. And this is a good park for him to play in center field because he is fast enough, has a strong arm. Mark Canha enjoys playing center field here as well. It is a big pasture.
Hatcher trying to get the A's their first 3 up, 3 down inning. And that one foul back. Tigers have had base runners all over the place the first 4 innings. So pitch number 40 coming up for Chris Hatcher.
Well, if you can get through this inning, that may be 2 very good innings for Hatcher out of the bullpen, considering last inning so many. And he did give up a run, but just 1 run.
And that almost hit him. Came close to grazing Martin. Now the count is full. Candelario waiting in the on-deck circle. Let's see what Hatcher throws Martin with the count full, bases empty, 2 outs. And he walked him. So Leonis Martin has done his thing out of the leadoff spot. He's been on base 3 times in 5 innings.
And we might see him run now with 2 outs. And Jonathan Lucroy has been throwing very well. The key is for Hatcher, if Martin is thinking about running, for Hatcher to get rid of the ball quickly to give Lucroy a chance.
Martin is 7 for 10 in steal attempts. Hitter is Jeimer Candelario. Walk, a fly ball, and a single. Candelario has scored twice. And there's a strike. So he is not afraid to go. Stole as many as 36 bases in one of his seasons with the Rangers.
Maybe Olsen could talk to him long enough to keep him close.
Just got back.
A lot is determined by how quickly the ball is released by the pitcher. And of course, given the catcher the opportunity, we have seen Jonathan Lucroy release very quickly from behind the plate. Simeon would be the one taking the throw if he should run, because Lowry is playing him over, way over second base, playing him to pull. There is Simeon at shortstop. He would be going to the bag. And I'd have to think it's going to be green light, so Candelario, matter of being able to determine how many pitches he's going to take to give Martin a chance to run.
Almost got him. A good pickoff throw by Hatcher is right down around the bag.
On the bag, quick tag, and got him on the elbow with a hand on the bag. That's why the base runners are smart. They go to the back part of the bag so they can grab it with their hand. Tough at bat for Candelario, because not knowing if the runner is going to be taken off.
Pitches inside, and Jonas Martin does not have the look that he wants to go.
Yeah.
He was actually leaning back toward first.
Candelario, at times, if second base was playing over close to second, then he would have a big hole to shoot to, but this is more of all between Martin and first.
Not running, and the pitch is low. So now the count 2-1 to Candelario. Chris Hatcher wants a new baseball after rubbing up that one. Runner not going, and the ball skied foul.
Emilio Pagan is heating up, and Hatcher at 45 pitches, and you'd have to think Hatcher is a couple of innings tonight. Hope it's a couple of innings. Might be it for him for a couple of days, or at least a day.
So 2-2. Runner not going, and the pitch is in the dirt. He will be going now. 3-2, 2 outs. 46 pitches for Hatcher.
Well, if nothing else, Martin has distracted Hatcher enough that he's taken another count to 3-2. Remember, he got the first two very easily. Jammed the first hitter, struck out second hitter this inning, and now a walk to Martin. 3-2 to Candelario.
Runner goes, and the ball is bounced to Barreto, who scoops up, tough little hop, throws to first. And that'll do it for the Tigers. Sixth inning coming up, 7-6 Detroit.
Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
There's a good look outside Comerica Park. Inside, Tigers 7, A's 6, 6th inning. And Buck Farmer, who took over in the 5th, and he got the final 3 outs, the last 2 coming on a double play. And he did that with just 7 pitches. So he'll face Canna, Lucroy, and Barreto, top of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss. Astros Blue Jays scoreless in the bottom of the 5th in Houston. Red Sox leading the Angels 8-1 in the 7th at Fenway. And the Mariners just took the lead in Baltimore 3-2 over the Orioles in the bottom of the 8th inning. Who's playing well night now, Rays? The Rangers.
Yes, they are.
They've won 8 out of their last 9.
That's the time they're talking about trading Cole Hamels and Adrian Beltre.
They're winning tonight 2-0 at home over the Padres in the 5th inning. One and 2 to Mark Canna, who doubled in a run in the 4th. Strike 3 call.
Fans, our 50th anniversary celebration continues with 8 lucky fans winning a signed anniversary ball by a member of our 50th anniversary team. Plus, the winner gets 2 free tickets to the September 4th game against the Yankees. Simply text the word sign to 60946 between now and July the 24th. Message and data rates apply. See full rules at athletics.com. Part of our 50th anniversary season, and text sign to 60946.
So here's Lucroy. First pitch from Buck Farmer is right on the outside corner. Lucroy, another big hit. A 2-out, 2-run double in the 4th inning. So he now has 23 RBIs, his average up to 270. He's had quite a few big hits for the A's this year.
And he had a double in the 3-run 4th inning, all unearned. But how about 54 doubles in one season in Milwaukee?
Right.
Big time. He loves to hit. He's a good hitter. Catching does wear him down a little bit, or wears a lot of catchers down. It's one thing the A's do not want to see happen is Buck Farmer settle down and shut the A's down, but it's also important for the A's bullpen as Pagan looks like he's got to come in the 5th inning is to try to keep going.
Very high to right field. Castellanos waiting, and he grabs it.
That would be the 6th inning for Pagan.
So 2 outs. You talk about LaCroix, Ray, and he has, well, this is his 59th start, and this is the A's 80th game. That's the 2nd most starts among catchers in the American League.
Yeah. Well, fortunately for him, and perhaps even for the A's, he evidently signed a contract stipulating that he would be the everyday catcher, and he's done a tremendous job, both offensively, but more importantly, handling the pitching staff.
Barreto takes a slider that catches the inside corner. Barreto, a couple of strikeouts, both swinging. Maybe the area that Barreto needs to get better at is just making a little bit better contact. I think he's probably always going to be a guy, Ray, that's going to strike out a little bit. But it's just laying off the pitches that are well out of the strike zone. Yeah. And I think he would get better at that at the big league level if and when he gets a chance to play every day.
Yeah.
These are the pitches that he's got to lay off. Well, that's a pretty tight slider, but still it's also well out of the strike zone.
The important thing is for a hitter to recognize a pitch that is, in the case of a slider, you see the spin, you should be able to see it.
0-2 pitch, just a bit outside. That one does catch the outside corner. Barreto knew it. So a fastball at 96 miles an hour and a 3-out, 3-down inning for Buck Farmer. Right behind section 234. This Friday, the first 500 fans that show up get a Dave Stewart no-hitter t-shirt. And all fans can pick up one of our collector series cheer cards. This week it is the man, Dave Stewart. For details, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com. June 29th, 1990. That is when Stu threw the no-hitter. And June 29th is Friday. So a little anniversary special for Stu. Bottom of the 6th inning, and it is Emilio Pagan. So Hatcher goes 2 innings, gives up 1 run.
And with the Tigers having activity in the bullpen, that means perhaps that Farmer is finished. And if that's the case, that's good for the A's because he has retired. He's actually gotten 6 outs with 5 batters. Bug Farmer, I mean. Think of Ed Farmer's Deli.
Ed Farmer giving us 2 innings, maybe?
He probably could. 2 innings worth of food.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. 1-0, 3.23 ERA. So that ERA continues to go down for Emilio Pagan. And he's going to get Castellanos on a pop-up. So for the first time tonight, the A's retire Nicholas Castellanos.
Castellanos so hot, he was upset that he made an out. That's hot.
Bruce Coleman starts to throw. He pitched yesterday.
It's Rick Anderson, the bullpen coach, standing behind him. Rick Anderson, longtime pitching coach for Ron Gardenhire in Detroit or in Minnesota. Now, of course, with the Tigers, but it's Chris Bosio, the pitching coach. Rick Anderson in the bullpen.
First pitch to Victor Martinez, a strike from Pagan. If you're just joining us, the A's were trailing 6-0 after 3 innings, but they have battled back like they always do to make it a 7-6 game. Pinder with the big home run. They went back-to-back, Pinder and Lowry. That was in the 5th inning. The A's scored 3 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. Martinez fouls it straight back. Costly error by that man, John Hicks, the first baseman for the Tigers. So the 3 runs by the A's in the 4th inning, all unearned runs.
So he's a -2.
-2.
Driven in 1 and allowed 3, or at least contributed to the A's 3 unearned.
This one down the left field line just a little bit. Count stays 1-2. Nice play.
Hey, gave it to an A's fan, that boy. A's cap anyway with the Cubs jersey on, so that's a little bit of a mixture. Wow, with the glove, everything.
Line drive, Barreto on the low backhand, 2 outs. So the shift gets Victor Martinez.
And that's why Commissioner Manfred may be saying enough of the shift. This is the type of play because Victor does not run fast, and it's got to be frustrating for a hitter, man. But hey, if you hit a ball that hard into the shift, then you got to pay the price.
I don't know how you could
I don't either.
change the rules of the shift or limit a team.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could do it.
I don't either.
But it would be it would make it interesting.
Yeah.
You get so many shifts a game.
Well, that, or in the case of right now, you can have 3 overshift to the right side, but they all have to be on the dirt.
Oh, man.
I mean, remember, coincidentally, 50 years ago is when it was the year of the pitcher in '68. And what did they do then when Gibson had the 1.12 ERA? Lowered the mound. And they wanted more offense. Well, they didn't necessarily get it because Gibson was still pretty good after they lowered the mound. Then the 5 years after the '68, the American League went to the DH, trying to get more offense. But if the shifts are taken away from offense, who knows what might be implemented by Major League Baseball, but I think it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't know. Certainly there's yeah, I mean, you could say you can only do so many or whatever, but it's what makes it even more interesting is that it's not a universal thing, the shift. Some teams do it a lot, some teams don't do it that much.
Exactly right.
So there's a 2-out walk to Goodrow.
Well, that's been the issue for the A's out of the bullpen anyway. You get the first 2 outs and there's a walk, and you start all of a sudden thinking about putting a runner at first base capable of stealing a bag.
So the A's pitchers have walked 5 now in this game. 3 by Montas, 1 by Hatcher, now 1 by Pagan. So here's Hicks. Hicks is 2 for 3, 2 singles, RBI, and a run score. Bottom of the 6th inning from Detroit. Swing and a miss. Hicks pulled off a little bit on that one. 0-1. They say a pitcher, the real good pitchers can read swings. I guess a catcher can read a swing too, right?
Well, you'd like to think the catcher is, but pitchers can, and the good ones can, because they can see the way a hitter swings at a pitch, way he opens up like that again.
Simeon's got it. He'll go to second, and that will do it for the Tigers. We are moving to the 7th. 7-6 Tigers. America. Now, before they were major leaguers, players like this young fellow were simply kids being kids playing all sorts of sports. Who is this guy? We'll reveal it a little bit later on.
Joe DiMaggio. I know, it'd be black and white. Yeah.
That's Marcus Simeon. That's what I'm thinking. 7-6, Tigers lead. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Lewis Coleman comes in, and Ray, he's going to try to bounce back from a tough outing yesterday.
Yep. Well, let's hope it's whether it was
he does it.
Yeah, Ed Farmer or Buck Farmer, he did a good job, whichever one you want. 2 innings of good pitching by Farmer, and Coleman yesterday. Yeah, he didn't have a particularly great inning. That was in the 7th inning when it was the Piscotty home run.
So he faces Simeon, Pinder, and Lowry here in the top of the 7th, a 1-run game.
It's going to be Matt Joyce, the on-deck circle, and I don't know if Pinder's going to get a chance to hit against the righty.
Joyce has just walked out. And now it's 2-0.
Tigers at one time had a guy named Joe Coleman too, right? Pretty good right-handed pitcher.
Marcus on a 2-0 off-speed pitch, taps it foul. A lot of people are heading up toward underneath.
That's because the seats are getting wet.
That's not good. It's just raining very, very lightly.
See, they should pretend it's a football game and they'd stay in their seats.
Stay in their seats.
Because this is nothing.
Foul straight back. It's a very, very light rain.
Yeah. I bet the Mahler stays in his seat.
Oh, Mahler's not going anywhere.
Mahler's right there. He said, "This is baseball."
2-2 pitch. Pop up. Behind the A's dugout, about 15 rows. It's getting the late inning game face going. Marcus rolls it left side. It's going to get through into left field for a base hit. So a leadoff single. So who was that youngster? Right-handed hitter. Hitting off the back leg. Yes, it was. It's Marcus. What's he sporting there? Looks like he's got some Nikes. So watch Fair Play, Youth Sports in America. It's brought to you by Geico. It's on June 29th after A's post-game live. So that is coming up this Friday after A's post-game live. Terrific. You don't want to miss it. So you could watch the A's and the Indians, pregame show, postgame live, and then Fair Play, Youth Sports in America, all on Friday night right here on NBC Sports California.
Chad Pinder said, "Didn't I just hit a 2-run home run?"
I think I did. I think I did.
Am I relegated to left-handed pitchers only? If the A's were ahead, he probably would stay in there, but A's are trailing by a run, and more people are going up underneath the overhand because it's starting to rain harder. This is an official game. It takes us 5 innings, and it's in the umpire's hands right now. It is just a heavy miss, that's all. This is nothing like a heavy fog, you know.
You're the best, Ray. Out at second, on to first, not in time.
And both double clutch, the first baseman and the shortstop.
So Joyce reaches on a fielder's choice. Simeon is retired.
Now watch the first baseman. Hicks grabs it, couldn't get it. And I watch the shortstop. There, he's got it. Couldn't get it back. And
see, I'm with you, Ray. If the A's are winning this game,
oh, it's pouring.
It's dumping. I mean, it is raining cats and dogs. But since they're losing 7-6,
hey, it's just a heavy miss. That's all.
I don't think the hard stuff's going to come down for a while yet.
Probably tomorrow night about 7 o'clock. Actually, it's supposed to start later tonight. It's starting a little bit too early. Actually, this game is taking so long. That's probably
And it is starting to rain. In all seriousness, it's starting to rain quite a bit heavier now.
And the real problem, as far as the Weather Channel is concerned, once it starts raining, it's going to go straight through until
it's supposed to rain until tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Exactly.
So that is a concern, folks. 1-0 pitch to Lowry, and it's outside. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, you are very good at these things. We're in the top of the 7th inning. You have to play a full inning for that inning to count.
Or it reverts to the previous.
So if the A's were to take the lead here, they would have to, you'd have to play the bottom of the 7th for the lead to hold up. If there was,
and you know,
hey, it rained and the game's over. We're just trying to figure everything out here.
Yeah, this is Jed Lowry, Oppo. Now he's hit to the left side, did what he did yesterday in the 9th inning. That's hit the 3-2 slider down the right field line.
Well, the count is 3-0. And that one is outside. He walked him. So now the A's will get the tying run to second. So that's 4 walks for Tigers pitchers. And here's Chris Davis. Chris Davis is 0 for 2. He walked in the 5th inning.
Come on back down your seats, folks. Just bring a towel, dry them off because it stopped.
So Davis steps in. Joyce at second. Lowry at first. Coleman fires and it's tap foul. Coleman, 3-quarter delivery, and he really throws across his body.
You know, Chris Davis didn't play the final game of the short 2-game series against the Padres. That was the Wednesday afternoon. He had the 2-run single against Giolito, and that's pretty much it. So maybe it's time for KD to hit one of his patented oppos. You know, almost hit it out opposite field to right center in San Diego on Tuesday night. Didn't quite make it.
Slider off the plate just by a little bit.
Chris Davis hit his 20th against Justin Verlander on the 14th of this month.
Missed again. 2-1. On deck is Matt Olson. So that's Alex Wilson, who's just about ready to go. He's been throwing for a while.
Look at our man. Alex Wilson had a 1-hit inning yesterday following Zimmerman. That was the 6th inning.
And that's a ball. And now it's 3-1.
Ted McCann was lucky that time because he backhanded the ball, and that's a critical block or catch by McCann because that could have put 2 runners in scoring position.
So Davis should get something to hit here on 3-1. Coleman checks. And he did, and he fouls it right side. Coleman made a pretty good pitch on 3-1. He was able to keep it away from Chris Davis, but keeping it away from Chris Davis isn't always the best way to get him out.
But he's probably going to stay away from him, and that's why for Chris Davis, when he opens up, the fastball that's up away from him usually goes far to right field.
Payoff pitch. It's a big one. And he missed outside, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. So back-to-back walks have loaded them, and here's Olson.
Now they want him to go talk, and that's maybe to bring in. Yeah, everything's away. You know, Chris Davis, not surprised that I mean, a good take on a breaking ball actually on the 3-2, and they wanted a little conversation perhaps to bring in Alex Wilson because he did such a good job yesterday, and it's going to be it for him as Ron Gardenhire is going to take the walk out.
So Coleman.
You know, Gardy said he had a good time last year as a bench coach at the Diamondbacks. He's back to managing and going through games like this.
So Wilson coming in. He'll face Olsen. Great opportunity here for the A's.
Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So 7-6, the A's trying to finish the comeback and get ahead in this game. And they got a pretty good opportunity here in the 7th. Alex Wilson comes in, 0-3, 3.86 ERA.
As I mentioned, Zimmerman started yesterday for some reason, came out after 5 innings. Wilson came into the 6th, gave up a leadoff single, then retired the next 3. And I think Ron Gardenhire is hoping for something similar to that. Although Matt Joyce led off the inning with a base hit, that would be outstanding for right now, because if that happens with Olsen, with the bases loaded, could take a lead.
Wilson, the 4th pitcher of the night. First pitch to Olsen is low. Joyce at 3rd, Lowry at 2nd, Davis at 1st. Shift on, 3 infielders on the right side. And there's a shot right to the shortstop, and his only play is to first, and the run scores.
And there's your shift, Kat.
So the shift, and it was a tough spot for Goodrum because he made the play, but Machado could not get over there to cover, so there really wasn't any way to get the out at second base.
This ball was smoked. Passed, and look where they're set up. I mean, this guy, I can't even explain. I mean, seriously, because you got a guy cutting across in front and couldn't get over there. Wow.
So it's an RBI ground out for Olsen, and the A's have tied it. And really, if you watch that play, nobody really did anything wrong.
No,
it's just the way it was set up.
And you know, you can say, well, if they don't overshift, would have been a base hit, or would have been a double play if the shortstop's in normal position, the second there. But the bottom line, the A's get the tying. Well, it could only be one play, and that was to first base.
So now the A's need a hit from Piscotty to take the lead. See, I mean, there's really nothing that Goodrum can do.
Except do what he did, and that's throw to first base. And he almost took a little bit too much time to even do that. Wow.
Oh, 0-2 pitch, and Piscotty, no.
No, that's I'm glad it was Barrett deferring to the first base umpire, because watch the swing. Say the bat stayed back, a lot of body went forward, and McCann asking for help.
So the count 1-2. Second and third, 2 outs, a run in. Alex Wilson delivers. Foul, right side. That one goes into the upper deck and then bounces all the way down. One thing about this ballpark, it's a nice ballpark. The upper deck is very far back.
Yeah.
Not a lot of overhang from the upper deck overhanging the lower deck. So if you're sitting in the upper deck, you're quite a ways back away from the field. You can kind of see it there. And that hits Piscotty up and in.
Wow. Left hand, wow. Well, I thought it got him in the face. Probably put his hand up maybe to avoid being hit in the face or the head. Hands are scary. Just hope that. Wow. And this ball up and in, and this is the scary part because it slips really, and you can see it did get the hand as Piscotty went down.
So Piscotty, as he walks down to first, he's going to stay in. So that's great news. So with the hit batter, the bases are loaded for Canna.
A 2-strike base hit by Marcus Semien started this inning. Fielder's choice, walk, 6-3 hit batter. 6-3 in a very unusual play with the shortstop on the first base side of second.
So here's Canna, who's 1 for 3. Canna with an RBI double in the fourth, and he scored in that inning. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Mark Canna, .478 is the batting average. Eleven hits, 23 at bats in these spots. Taps this one out in front. Wilson has it, flips to first. And that will do it for the A's, but they tie it up in the top of the 7th. So 7th inning stretch time, and we're tied at 7.
designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
So Matt Joyce stays in the game. He's now the left fielder. And we got a 7-7 game, bottom of the 7th inning.
And it's not your normal 7-7 game either.
A little bit of everything. So Pagan stays in there for inning number 2. He'll face McCann, Reyes, and Machado, the bottom 3 for the Tigers.
And we always know that these types of games, it's a bullpen game. Most games are anyway, but especially one like this when your starter only goes 3. And the A's know it's not going to be Daniel Mington tomorrow. It's going to be Chris Bassett. And they'll back up Mania to the Thursday series finale.
1-1 to McCann, who singled and knocked in a run way back in the 1st inning. Pops this one up. Barreto has it, 1 away. So the lefty Ryan Buchter starts to throw. You see Trinan getting himself loose as well in the background.
Have to wonder if Trevino is available tonight, considering what he did over the weekend. So Buchter only 1 batter yesterday. Buchter, that's the bullpen car that he took into behind second base. The snazzy little bullpen car.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the Tiger hat on top.
No.
It's not the real.
No.
I got to have a team logo somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and you know, it's not a bad idea, because if you're in the cart and it breaks down, then you have an excuse for not being on the mound quickly enough to take all your warm-up tosses.
Or if you just pitch poorly, it's like my car broke down. Man.
But you know, the thing is now when you leave the bullpen, that's when the clock starts. So if you take your time, it doesn't mean you get 8.
No.
You could get on the mound and they say 4, time's up, let's go. Yeah.
That's right.
So, but if you take the bullpen car and it breaks down, then you could say I got my full time, because maybe you have to walk in after they figure out that it's broken down.
Or what if the bullpen car driver is an employee of the, in this case, the Tigers, and he drives slowly?
You know, it happened yesterday with Chris Bosio, okay, because I looked up on the clock. They have 30 seconds. They didn't even start the clock until Bosio was on his way back, and it still took him 30, because he has 1 pace, and that's it.
And that one inside to Victor Reyes.
Fortunately, got out of the way of it. Don't like these 2-strike hit batters. As he went after it and then pulled the hands back. I mean, you don't want to get hit. I mean, but you also, if you're a pitcher, you don't want to just tick the hitter, as Engel was the case in Sunday's game when Blackburn got him with 2 outs, the 9th place hitter for the White Sox.
Up the middle, Simeon has it, throws, and that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. And now Dixon Machado, the 9th place hitter, will hit. Mariners hung on and beat the Orioles 3-2 in Baltimore.
You know, Cap, in 1953, there is a young man born in Baltimore by the name of Al Kaline.
Really?
Who was signed by the Tigers, and on this date in 1953 made his professional debut right out of high school.
Oh.
First at bat, flew out.
18 years old. Is Al in the building tonight? That's the statue of Al Kaline, one of the Tiger greats. Popped up again to the right side. This time it looks like it's going to be Olsen, and it is. So Pagan, 2 good innings, and we're moving to the 8th. 7-7 game. The top of the 8th inning. Alex Wilson, the right-hander, stays out there for Detroit.
And you think about the way this game was in the beginning, 6-0. And then all of a sudden a run scores and the A's has done a tremendous job. Bullpen has been great.
It'll be Lucroy, Barreto, and Simeon here in the 8th inning. First pitch is outside. Yankees shut out the Phillies 6-0. Check that out. 101 runs scored in the 8th inning or later, most in the majors. That doesn't surprise us.
Wow.
We've seen most of them.
And it's a great confidence building the ball club that can do that. And just like being down 6-0, being down 5-0 in the first inning Sunday or Saturday, and coming back and winning. And this is game 80 for the Athletics.
2-0 pitch misses badly, and now it's 3-0. Hardy went 4, Farmer 2. Holman a third of an inning. Wilson got 2 outs in the 7th. And there's a strike. So in that Yankee game, Luis Severino, the starter for the Yankees, Ray, 7 innings, 9 strikeouts. He is 12-2 with a 2.10 ERA. He is a legitimate #1 starter.
Yes, he is. And they're talking about trying to add somebody for the rotation.
Yeah.
For what?
Hot shot. What a play by Hicks. Gets up, flips to Wilson, and he took a hit away from Jonathan Lucroy. Very nice play by John Hicks.
Well, that helps. People forget about what he did earlier back in the 4th inning, but tell you, good job by Lucroy trying to shoot the gap on the right side. And that's what you like to do with a runner at first base, because the first baseman's holding the runner, but Hicks was off the line considerably and able to make a tremendous play.
So see if Barreto can get into one. Mighty swing and a miss.
He's looking for contact tonight after striking out 3 times.
And now it's 0-2. Goes down to 1 knee. Red Sox beat the Angels 9-1 at Fenway Park. So the Angels are scuffling. They have lost 4 in a row. They're now 41-39. So if the A's win this, they will jump ahead of the Angels. Another home run for J.D. Martinez for the Red Sox. He's got 24. Boston hit 4 home runs in that game. So the Angels are 0-2 to start this 10-game road trip that they're on. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Barreto has struck out 4 times. So 2 outs. Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. So 2 outs, and here's the top of the order, Marcus Simeon, who's 1 for 3. Single walk and a run score. Drives this one foul. So it rained for what, 2-3 minutes?
That's about it.
And then it stopped. And there's more on the way. Oh, 1 pitch, just a little bit outside. A's was 7 runs and 7 hits. The Tigers 7 runs and 11 hits. A's have left 6 runners aboard. The Tigers have left 8.
And there's a big 1 in the air column for the Tigers, and that's been huge in the game.
That's it. Could be the difference right now. Wilson grabs it. So nice job by Alex Wilson. And we are going to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 7-7 game.
Of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It was 6-0. Now it's 7-7. 7-7-0 for the A's. 7-11-1 for the Tigers. Frankie Montas did not have it tonight. 6 earned runs in 3 innings. Blaine Hardy was good early, but then it fell apart quickly on him. And more road home runs for the A's as Jed Lowry, a solo home run, Chad Pinder, a 2-run shot. They went back-to-back in the 5th. So the A's continue to hit road home runs. They got 72 home runs in 40 road games. Ryan Buchter comes in, trying to keep it at 7-7. Good job by Emilio Pagan.
Yep.
He's really starting to put it all together. So here's Buchter. Just activated from the disabled list. Pitched briefly in yesterday's game. So he's facing the leadoff man, Martin. And we have seen Martin do that a lot in his career.
And it's Buchter who faced Martin yesterday when Martin hit the ball straight away center field, hit the warning track. It was a ground rule double. But he fell behind, got to 3-2, and then he blasted off. But right now, trying to get ahead, but he's behind 2-0.
Mighty swing, and it's popped up just below us. So 2-1. Candelario, switch hitter to follow, and then Castellanos here in the bottom of the 8th. Buchter kicks and delivers. Strike at the knees. Good pitch.
Buchter, the lone lefty in the A's bullpen, and 2-0 now to 2-2. That 94-mile-an-hour fastball, good location.
2-2 pitch, breaking ball, and a big swing and a miss by Leonis Martin. He's gone.
That's a big out right there to keep Martinez's speed off the bases. Came back with a hook, big slider to strike him out with a swing and a miss. Did not get to the point where he had to throw him a 3-2 fastball.
So here's Candelario, the switch hitter. He is a better hitter from the right side. 288 from the right side, 221 from the left side. This is his first at bat tonight, right-handed. And he lines one fair. Down the left field line into the corner, bangs off that side wall. Candelario is going to round second and stop there. A one-out double, and that's the go-ahead run. He saw something he liked on the first pitch.
Well, and guess what it was? Comes right back in. Fastball, tried to get inside, did not. Jumped on it and hits off the side wall. And Mark Canha had no chance but except just to hustle it back in. Is Castellanos 4 pitches and he takes first base with the walk, intentional.
So intentional walk, that's the 6th walk issued by the A's tonight. And here comes Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez is 0 for 4.
He's also the switch hitter, more power from the left side, but good hitter regardless of the side.
Yeah, his numbers are more balanced, Ray. 246 right-handed, 249 left-handed.
But look at the defense, how different it is playing him. There is straight up.
Straight up.
I mean, this is infield, outfield, everybody straight up. That's old school right there. That's the way you just are hoping for a ground ball to get the double play because he runs slowly. And if you can get the runner in second, very good chance to get the double play.
Martinez swings and misses, 91 miles an hour. Well, that's where you know maybe things are starting to slow down a little bit for Victor Martinez in his career, because man, he used to be a tough out with runners on base. And now he's hitting just 169 with runners in scoring position. Slices that one down the right field line, and it's 0-2.
The one thing that makes him dangerous is the fact that he's a veteran.
Yeah, he's been in these spots a lot.
Yeah, nothing really phases him.
Nico Goodrum, another switch hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. 4 switch hitters in this lineup. Buchter a long look at second. 0-2 pitch, here it is. Bounces it foul up over top of the Tigers dugout. Astros leading the Blue Jays 2-0. Bottom of the 8th in Houston. Mariners have won, Angels have lost. Two pitches hit down the left field line, but foul. Did not hit it real well. Got in a little bit on Victor Martinez.
It's one of those things, though, that you stay in, and he starts to cheat a little bit and maybe throw that hard, high heater and get him thinking inside, especially protected with a couple strikes. As he becomes a very good hitter with 2 strikes. He's not your swing with all your might with 2 strikes. You saw the no home runs with runners in scoring position. Has driven in 18 of his 26. But second side, it's a fastball away. See if that's what it is.
Just got a piece of it, and it Well, it got somebody back there.
Yeah.
Let's see, did it get Lucroy or Barrett or both?
Both. Mostly Barrett, because Lucroy immediately took off his mask. That smile from Luke's, that's Ted saying, I'm okay.
Yes, sir, Mr. Barrett.
Don't ever you turn around and ask me if I'm okay again.
So 0-2 again. Good battle here with the game on the line. Buchter against Victor Martinez. And he takes that one. Lucroy blocks it. So a little teaser pitch in the dirt.
Well, he's done this all night. Jonathan Lucroy has. As he would say, I like to absorb them. Well, he absorbed one very nicely. I've got him with 7 blocks tonight with runners on base.
So the crowd making some noise. What's left? Originally, it was 22,809.
A lot of them don't want to go back to wet seats.
Got him swinging. Chased a bad ball, and Buchter buried it down and in on Victor Martinez.
Well, evidently in the dirt and blocked nicely by Jonathan Lucroy on this slider. It was knocked down, and Victor probably upset that he swung at a bad pitch. Kicked around a little bit by Victor before he was picked up, and I think he just walked back to the dugout, which conceded any, well, strikeout ball in the dirt. He couldn't go anywhere anyway.
So here's Nico Goodrum. Goodrum has been on base 3 times. Double, fielder's choice, and a walk. And the first pitch runs off the plate just a little bit.
Closer for the Tigers, Shane Green, was announced that he is throwing in the bullpen. He pitched in yesterday's game. He hit a home run off him for the game winner. Jed Lowry did.
A little bit inside, so Buchter close but missed outside on the first pitch, close but missed inside on the second pitch.
Well, you make the call. Ted Barrett didn't like it.
It's a strike.
It was a strike.
Candelaria not being held, so he's got a good lead at second. Swing and a miss. That one again right on the inside corner. Good pitch by Buchter.
Well, staying inside, he does a good job by the with the fastball, the slider, staying inside.
Pitch number 17 coming up from Buchter. Swing and a miss. Same spot. He's thrown 3 pitches in the exact same spot.
Well, between a fastball and a slider in there, and watch this ball just hard. That's at 90 on the inside with a fastball. You think of Steve Carlson. I was fortunate to catch Sam McDowell. Guys, he could throw the nasty slider. Lefties, back foot to the right-handers. They threw them hard. No chance of making a mistake. That's the key. And this is a key pitch, 2-2.
Here it is. Inside. That one up a little bit. So now it's a full count. So that helps the Tigers as Candelario and Castellanos will be running. Smero Petit throwing for the A's.
Slider down and in.
Runners go, and he missed inside. So now you're not allowed any mistakes with the bases loaded.
No, and this is one guy did not want to come up. Scott Emerson's going to pay a visit, but this is a guy that really put us in the position we're in right now, or at least contributed to it. And he's already driven in one by going to the opposite field. And that is John Hicks, who made the error that opened up the door for the Athletics to score 300 runs. He drove in their 7th run by getting a base hit to right field off Hatcher.
So Scott Emerson trots back to the dugout. So here is Hicks. Hicks has a couple singles tonight. He has scored a run and he has knocked in a run. Hicks takes a deep breath. Buchter's ready. The first pitch inside.
It's almost like they don't want to throw outside to any of these right-handers.
And he is pounding the inside.
Yeah. Every right-hander has been doing that.
Two and 0.
Well, eventually you gotta deal with the strike zone, and unlike what Goodrum did, Goodrum at least was swinging at some of the pitches inside, but so far Hicks has taken them. I'd say the hitter's pretty good.
It's a good spot to be in.
Yeah, 2-0. Bases loaded.
Hicks has 6 home runs, 25 runs batted in. To a pitch swing and a miss. So we gave him 192.
Yeah,
but that was even in a little bit.
Exactly.
Maybe not a ball, but on the inner half of the strike zone.
Yeah, he's not letting him extend his arms.
So that's a good pitch by Buchter.
Yeah.
He needed to throw a great pitch, and he did. 2-1. Line foul, and now 2-2. 23 pitches for Buchter.
Well, this is a critical pitch. The 2-0 is critical, but so is the 2-2, because figure whatever you throw 2-2, you throw 3-2. That's not necessarily the case all the time, but for Buchter, he's got both the hard slider, he's got the fastball. I'd say he's got to try to give him a swing at the slider, okay? Just a thick fastball, 2-2, and former catcher maybe thinking that's what he would call. But we'll see if he stays with the heater or he does throw the hard slider.
Here we go, 2-2 the count. And he got him. High fastball, he struck him out. So Hicks fires the bat and helmet. Buchter pumps his fist, and he gets out of the jam, and the Tigers leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th.
was a 2-run home run by Chad Pinder, following the walk to Marcus Semien, and then on a 1-1 fastball to right field by Jed Lowry. Back-to-back, 6th time this year. The boys have gone back-to-back. So that has been good for the Athletics this year. And they do it tonight to at least come close and have tied the game with just a basic ground ball.
Shane Green is the new pitcher. They saw him yesterday. They put the loss on Shane Green yesterday. He'll face Joyce, Lowry, and Davis here in the top of the 9th inning. Green is the closer for the Tigers.
Yep.
19 saves in 22 opportunities. So pretty good numbers across the board for Shane Green.
Well, they came in to settle down the Tigers a little bit after they scored 3 in the 8th inning yesterday. Came in and struck out Fowler on 3 pitches, then struck out Joyce on 3 pitches before Jed Lowry hit the home run to win it. So the A's trying to pull their magic in the 9th inning again.
Green had 9 saves last year. Good season out of the Tigers bullpen. 2.66 ERA in 71 appearances. So he's the best reliever the Tigers can throw at you. Originally a Yankee.
Originally a starter.
That's hit well to left field. Victor Reyes back near the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. Joyce hustling for second, and he's got a leadoff double.
Well, I will say this, guy, Greg Stat over here, his stat man. He said that ever since Joyce has left the Tigers, he's haunted the Tigers for the various teams he's played for. He said he's going to hit a home run. This is how close he came to hitting a home run. Come on, Greg. Come on, give it another couple of feet. A good opposite field hitting by Matt Joyce. See if the A's can make it happen with a leadoff double. That close to being a home run.
So execution time for the A's offensively as Lowry steps up. After Lowry, it's Chris Davis. Big night for Lowry. 2 singles, a homer, and a walk.
Well, it's very close to left field going out, and Reyes went back, jumped. Fortunately for him, he didn't touch the ball as it hit the wall. If he had his hit off his glove or other parts of his body, might have bounced over.
Lowry's home run in the 5th inning. At the A's just a little bit closer. But this is what he did yesterday against Green, and it was the game winner.
Yeah, watch the little break. The ball coming right into him down the right field line. Stanford Grant, I guess, very smart, going 330 down the right field line instead of trying to go to the biggest part of the diamond. And that was a big comeback for the Athletics to cap it with that home run. But, you know, that was a breaking ball. A lot of times a pitcher will remember what he did. And in this case, a breaking ball would allow Jed to roll over and hit nothing else, a ground ball to the right side to advance Joyce. Stand fastball the first 2 pitches.
Inside, and a count 1-2, 95 miles an hour from Green. Trinan's ready if the A's were to take the lead. So 8 hits now for the A's after the Joyce double. That one's popped up, and again, it'll reach the seats.
It's almost like Shane Green is saying, I'm going to throw your fastballs away. I'm not going to let you pull the ball.
Yep.
And, you know, again, as we have talked, sometimes it's better just to try to take the fastball the other way. You're going to advance a runner if you hit it at the outfield. May not drive him in, but that's all you're trying to accomplish by hitting the ball to the right side. You hit it the left side through the infield.
Another 1-2. Here it is. Miss outside.
Well, we've seen this where the closer has come in the 9th inning, trying to get his club back in the dugout. Still tied, but A's trying to change that as Chris Bosio looks on.
And that's a base hit right center field, and the A's are going to take the lead. Here comes Matt Joyce. He's going to score, and the A's have done it again. It's 8-7.
But found the hole on the right side, so the leadoff double not only gets him over, gets him in. And Jed Lowry got the fastball, able to pull it. It was outside part of the plate, see him open up. And that's a great job. Look at the gap right up the middle. And they shifted just enough with Jed. A little surprising there, Kai, because if he stays fastballs away, kind of wonder why Machado's playing as far as he was to the right side. Now, because it's going to be hard. It's not going to be a breaking ball to pull, but glad he played where he did because Jed once again found it. And once again, the A's have not only come back, scoring another run in the 9th inning.
So here's Chris Davis. Now maybe the A's can add on a little bit.
Jed Lowry, look at the hole and see where Machado came in the picture late. Matt Williams waving home Matt Joyce. So Matt Joyce to the leadoff double. Jed Lowry, as he did yesterday, gives the A's the lead. And they've come all the way back to take the lead in the 9th inning.
And that's inside, and now it's 2-0. You know, too happens in games like this, and what happened yesterday is for any team, but when you use your closer, you got to win the game.
That's right.
And when you use your closer and you lose the game, and then you do it 2 games in a row, that hurts you.
Yeah, you're right.
Shane Green, who knows? He may not be available tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good point because he came in to stop the A's rally, kept it tied game, but when he went back in the 9th inning, gave up the home run, and then the Tigers could not close it out.
So 3-0 now to Chris Davis. Big swing and a miss. So Chris Davis went green light on 3-0. On deck is Olson.
Good boy.
Yeah. Not surprised. Mahler went rally cap, and the A's are taking the lead here. Look at him. Huh? You don't want him on your team?
I just wish he had his hard hat on, you know.
Three-two pitch. Here it comes to Davis. And Davis rips one to left field. Reyes coming in, and he makes the catch. So a line drive off the bat of Chris Davis, but he's got nothing to show for it. So he's 0 for 3 with a couple of walks. So here is Olson. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, it'll be McCann, Reyes, Machado. That's the bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup.
That's Warwick, Saupold. Warwick.
First pitch to Olson, runs off the plate.
You know, Cap, our boys back in the studio in our pregame hit, talk about the importance of road home runs and home runs in general. Well, tonight's a perfect example, isn't it? How the A's with a 2-run and a solo got them right back in the game. So it does help. You have the long ball.
Helps get you back in games.
Yep. A couple of times this year, Chris Davis has hit a 3-run. Right behind him has been Matt Olson with a solo. 4 runs combined. Of course, Chad Pinder started it. The A's were down 6-3 at the time. 7-3 actually. As the Tigers have scored an extra run. They scored the run in the 4th inning to make it 7-3, but Chad Penner with a 2-run, Jed Lowry with the solo, and it's 7-6. They tied it and now have taken the lead in the 9th inning.
Olsen, he'll be ready to rip on 2-0, and he can't do it. It's inside. So Shane Green threw 25 pitches yesterday. He's at 19 tonight. The 3-0 pitch. Olsen, it's a high pop-up left field line. A very long run for Reyes, and he missed it. It's a fair ball. Lowry stops at second base, so fair ball called by Will Little. And Reyes, man, he ran a long ways, and he just overran it a little bit. And he ran too fast.
And you know, they talk about outfielders running for a ball, trying to keep your head level so you're not head's not bouncy. Look, he slipped a little bit, and that might have contributed to him missing the ball. It slipped right there and tried to reach back, could not do it. And Jed Lowry really couldn't do anything, kind of halfway, and smartly not trying to go to third considering where the ball was.
So it's a hit. Green is done, and we're going to take a break. A's have taken the lead here in the 9th.
Hassles and tired kings. That's why the A's created baseball's best tradition. Free July 3rd fireworks after our 6:05 game against the Padres is brought to you by Chevrolet. For tickets, go. I just want to hear that music. I'm just going to take my time. Such great music. For tickets, go to athletics.com/boom. That's right, boomed in honor of the Bay's best fireworks. See you at the ballpark. And man, just listen to that, and you know the great A's vision will come up with a dynamic fireworks display. Nothing better than the patriotic fireworks. We've seen fireworks here on this road trip and seen them again tonight.
Here's Warwick Saupold, 4-1 with a 4.41 ERA. Pitcher number 6 in the game for the Tigers. That one is drilled to center. Martin going back, he's going to get there, and he makes the catch. So Piscotti goes after the first pitch, hit that ball pretty well. There's way too much acreage out there. And here's a pinch hitter, Fowler.
Well, this is a managerial delight. Manager's delight to be able to pinch hit a left-hander, because you probably want to put him defensive in center field anyway with his speed. And the natural center fielder, Mark Canha, has done a tremendous job, especially against left-handers and playing center field. So he's trying to pick up an insurance run. Dustin Fowler pinch hitting, standing game in center field.
First pitch to Fowler, a little high. Trinan's ready.
in the A's bullpen. There's a line drive, base hit right field. Castellanos has it. Castellanos throw to the plate. It's cut off, and it tips off Hicks's glove. And Lowry scores, and the A's get another run. It's 9-7.
And there is absolutely no reason for Hicks to cut that ball.
Let it go.
Let it go. Nobody was moving. The extra base, it kept the ball low enough. If Hicks is able to at least put his glove on it, let it go. Because Lowry, you might as well take a chance. You got 2 outs. Lowry's busting it, and the ball ticks off his glove, and that's it. But Castellanos, ball got to him quickly, and Jed Lowry running as hard as he can. But at that point, that was Mahler yelling, go, 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 go. Big hit by Dustin Fowler. Pitch hitting is not easy. Came through big time with that one.
So 4 hits in the inning and 2 runs at a 9-7 lead. So Lucroy takes the first pitch strike.
If this ball, like I said, watch Hicks right here. Let the ball go through, because there's nobody going to advance, and by him doing that, who knows? I mean, Jed could have fallen down, but if an infielder is able to touch the ball, that means it's low enough that the runners aren't going to advance.
Martin to his right makes the catch. Side retired. A's take the lead late again. They score twice. It's 9-7 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Pair, including the one that gives the A's the lead. It's now 9-7, bottom of the 9th inning. We'll be back with you tomorrow for Game 3 of this 4-game series. Chris Bassett will be called back up. He will make the start against Mike Fire. So we'll see Bassett tomorrow. Game 3, and hopefully the A's will be sitting on a couple of wins here in Detroit. They're 3 outs away from it. Treinen looking for his 19th save. He has converted 15 consecutive saves. So he is on quite a roll right now, Blake Treinen. So Fowler takes over in center field.
Well, it's a huge inning also for Ryan Buchter. Had the bases loaded in the 8th inning, did not allow a run to score. Big strikeout of Hicks with the bases loaded. And the A's score the 2. Fowler, who stays in center, comes up with a big pinch hit RBI single. And now Blake Treinen trying to come in and close it out and get that S beside his name once again. Something that he really enjoys doing.
So here's McCann. The first pitch, outside corner, 100 miles an hour with a little sink to it.
An easy 100 miles an hour. Let's not forget, the more Blake Treinen pitches, the better he gets. And Jonathan Lucroy said yesterday he was not at his best. Still got the job done. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Xfinity signs with Blake Trinan in the game.
There he is in the saves leaderboard. Edwin Diaz has 29 saves. 0-2 pitch. Got him on 3 pitches. Down and in at 98. So 1 away.
Hard. Look at the movement. My. Look at that. How hard it goes down and in and be hard, thrown that hard. And it's almost unfair for a hitter to think about trying to hit that pitch. Remember last inning, Buchter struck out 3, trying to get to strike out of the first batter he faces.
Pinch hitter is Jacoby Jones. He's hitting for Reyes. First pitch to Jones is a little bit low.
Iglesias is in the on-deck circle for Machado.
He mentioned Buchter, Ray. Interesting line. 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So he walked the tightrope, but he made some huge pitches when he needed to. Swinging over top of a sinking fastball. Swing and a miss. Ball just disappears.
Amazing. Well, that's a hard sinker down and in. Of course, Jonathan Lucroy's been back there all night, and yesterday and tonight. And he's staying inside. He did it with Buchter. Now he's doing it with Trinan.
1-2 pitch, and Jones just barely got a piece of it. I think too, the pitch that Trinan has, which we talk about so much, it's 98 with the sink, but not only is it a hard pitch to hit, but it's a hard pitch to hit out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
Right, and you just don't seem to worry about that kind of damage being done with Trinan. Joyce over, and Joyce makes the catch.
That was a slider. That wasn't his turbo sinker. Actually, Lucroy wanted him to bury it outside and maybe to go back inside, but it ended up left it. Maybe from Jones' standpoint, he was happy just to get something other than the turbo sinker.
So here's Jose Iglesias pinch hitting for Machado. Remember, Ace Post Game Live coming up right after the game. First pitch to Iglesias, big bouncer, foul. Iglesias, the regular shortstop for the Tigers, getting the night off. He's hitting .274, a couple of home runs. His name's in trade rumors a lot. It's been Montas, Hatcher, Pagan, Buchter, and now Trinan.
And Montas off the hook.
Yep. Rolled foul. And now it's 1-2. So Trinan trying to finish it off and get his 19th save. Get Buchter a win.
Yeah, and if Trinan can finish this inning, that's another game in which 6 innings out of the bullpen. We saw 7 on Saturday in Chicago when Migna went just 2 innings. We wish him the best. But these are games that have been special for the Athletics.
Lowry backhands, he grabs it in the air, and not a bad way to end the game in the glove of tonight's star, Jed Lowry.
So the A's, for the first time in 2018, are 4 games over 500. They are 42-38. They've won 8 out of 10, and they do it in comeback fashion again. We're getting used to it, folks.
See, Muller said, I knew it, no problem. Got it all the way. Boys did great.
Tonight's game, 3 hours and 45 minutes. The attendance was 22,000.